And then Maddie, also I saw your message. I don't know if you wanted me to make that public, so whatever. But we're gonna go and move on to our next guest. But thank you so fucking much. That is insane. Thank you so much. What's going on, Big D? You voted for Trump. Big D's not here. We're gonna go to move on to our next guest. Let's keep the W Mama Peaches in the chat coming while we get our next guest up in the queue. Make sure if you are in the queue that you're voting for Trump. I love you too, Mama Peach. Thank you for the love. Seriously. What's going on, man? Are you voting for Trump?
I guess I'm leaning towards it.
You're leaning towards it. Let me ask you a question. Would you ever vote for someone else civilly liable for rape?
Uh, no, but I'm also going right. But that's a loaded question. But wouldn't it be fair to ask?
It's literally not a loaded question. Alicia, thank you for the $10 on Venmo.
Wouldn't it be fair to like focus on like more what they do?
What the fuck is your username?
What?
I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. What the fuck is that? What a weird username. We're gonna go and get our next guest up in here. Everyone, just give us a minute. That was just a weird username. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all. Let's go and see what our next guest here has to say, guys. If you're MAGA, make sure to let me know down below in that chat. We're gonna go and get our next guest up in here right now, y'all. Hey David, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo, saying don't listen to the MAGA BS. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the $10, David. W David's down below. What's up, Mikey? Are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm not. I just wanted to get the chance to tell you that I've been on a campaign for the last 5 days to make sure I defend you on every platform. I really respect what you do. And something that wasn't addressed was that about a month ago, a lot of these issues that came up, I remember you talking about them. I was on my way to Disneyland, so I clearly and vividly remember you mentioning a lot of the things in your past. And the day, I don't know if you remember, you do so many lives, but I remember it was a day that you were talking about how you grew up, because somebody was telling you that you grew up rich and everything, and you started correcting and started kind of giving your background. And you also included that you used to be a Trump supporter, and everything that you used to believe in, you no longer believe anymore. And a lot of the things that your views before, you educated yourself and you bettered yourself. So when all these people started coming up with all the BS, I was like, hey, he already addressed it. He already talked about it before you guys even came up with. And one of the things that I keep telling all these trolls is that the only reason why they're trying to dig and smear your name is because you've been cooking all these MAGA Republicans, trying to, create a narrative to debunk, or not to debunk, but try to give you a bad name because you've been making them look bad. You and Parker have been destroying them. So now they're on a campaign to try to attack your character when you guys have already addressed that. And so I want to tell you, man, I'm twice your age, and I really respect you. I have kids, and I hope that my kids, grow up to be smart like you, man. So I really respect you.
Well, first of all, Mikey, I appreciate you, man. You're right. I have been talking about, these things for the last 8 months, but not as in depth or specific as I should have. I think that there will always be value in holding myself accountable, talking about my upbringing, and calling out bad things when I see them, even when they apply to myself. But your last point there about this being used by the right as a political smear campaign is 110% true. I think that there's valuable and genuine conversation that should be had here. I think that accountability is necessary. But there's a large faction of the animosity online that's coming from people that don't truly give a shit, and they're just doing it because I cook them on a daily basis. But hey, I appreciate you for coming up, Mike. Hope you have a good.
You're doing a great job, man, and we support you. Don't let them even affect you in any way, shape, or form, because for us that listen to you, we respect how knowledgeable, and we appreciate the knowledge that you're teaching us. And I'm twice your age, and you're teaching me a lot of stuff. So you got a good head on your shoulders, and the fact that you took accountability that speaks volumes. The way you even took responsibility, and I respect you a lot, man. So keep doing your thing, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Mike. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming up, man. Tell me how you feel. I appreciate that. We're gonna go ahead and get our next guest up in here right now, guys. If you are in the queue, make sure that you're voting for Trump. We may end up doing a little bit of a restart on the stream here too, but I guess we'll just see. But thank you for coming up, Mikey. Let's go ahead and see what our next guest here has to say. Everyone, do be patient. Do give us a minute. We got Emma loading up into the queue literally right now. Emma dropped. Feel free to let me know if you're MAGA down below in the chat by just saying MAGA. Just drop it down below. I'll have you up in here. What's going on, B. Riley? You voting for Trump? B. Riley, hello.
Hello.
Hey, are you voting for Trump, man?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. Do you mind if I ask you how old are you?
28.
28, phenomenal. Why are you voting for Trump, bro?
I don't want my cat and dog eaten.
Okay, so yeah, the whole idea of like cat and dogs being eaten by Haitian migrants is a lie. JD Vance and Trump, they've been sued by like Haitian nonprofit organizations in Springfield. JD Vance admitted that it was a story he made up on CNN. And it's just like active, like, you have Kamala 2024 in your bio. The sad thing is that I had an inkling that it was a troll, but the facts that a real Trump supporter could say that's astounding. That speaks fucking volumes. That speaks fucking volumes. The fact that I thought that a real Trump supporter would say that. Yeah. Go back to spamming MAGA or Trump 2024 down below in the chat. We're going to go ahead and get our next guest up in here right now. Let's see what we got next. Also, guys, do double tap on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 500,000 likes here, y'all. And thank you for the hand arts as well. Let's get up to 500,000 likes. Let's go and get BLD up in the queue. I sent you out an invite. Same thing with Morgan. We got all of the individuals loading up in here. And Sabrina, thank you for the $5. Oh, it says middle school in her bio. Goodbye, fetus. Go back to spamming MAGA down below in the chat. Let's go ahead and see what our next guest here has to say. Everyone, just give us a minute. J Rock, let's go and get you up in here. See you spamming Trump down below. There's a lot of people spamming Trump that I invite and then they don't end up joining. Easelif, thank you for the subscription. All right, that one Zoomer dude. Let's go and get you up in here. By the way, we are just looking for debates right now, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, man? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
Okay. Why in the hell would you ever do such a thing? Let's talk about it.
So for me, honestly, it's like I'm surrounded by people who are voting for Trump.
Okay.
And so like kind of in the position where you are, I guess I'm scared to really want to vote for the other side, you know?
Mm. You know that you could vote and then lie about it, right?
Yeah, but I don't like lying.
You could just like pretend like you're a Trump supporter in front of your family. Well, I did that for a long time. I've only stopped doing that one recently.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's only been in like the last like 6 or 7 months that I've stopped pretending like I'm like a Trump supporter Catholic in front of my family. Someone in the chat is saying that you are a high schooler?
I am 18. I am a high schooler, but I'm 18.
Julian, I think with $5 on Venmo.
Yeah, I'm a senior. I graduate in 25. My birthday is August 30th, 2006.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if you don't want to give me any like reasons why you think Trump is better than the other candidate, and it's more so about your socialization, feel free to join my Discord. Feel free to talk to people in there. I mean, it's good to have like an open and honest and anonymous space, especially online, to be able to talk about these things. Because I understand like the impact of being surrounded by conservatives.
Okay.
But I appreciate you
coming up,
that.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, but the link to the Discord is going to be in the bio. I get that one hard. Like even I had to lie about that to my family until I couldn't anymore. Coco, I appreciate you for the lovely music. And Kaylin, thank you for the $2 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you, Kaylin. We are going to move on to our next guest here, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone just give us a minute. Hey, what's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
Bethany, thank you for the $5 on Venmo.
First of all, bitch, you're ugly as fucking bitch. You're a fucking racist. You dirty ass motherfucking bitch. Bitch, you're motherfucking ugly as shit. You dirty ass motherfucking bitch. And the fact that you didn't even fucking apologize for the shit you fucking did, bitch. You're fucking weird as shit. You dirty ass.
I actually, so first of all, I did talk about it for 5 hours yesterday. And I'm more than willing to have continued conversation about it today. But they weren't interested in conversation. They left on their own accord. So we are going to move on to our next guest here. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say. Everybody give us a minute. I'm expecting like continued conversation about this like for forever. Like, I don't think that this will ever stop coming up, and I'm completely fine with that. That is absolutely fine by me. But you actually have to be willing to talk about it and not just leave. Hey, are you voting for Trump?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I am. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why, honestly, because I don't know where you live or where you're from exactly, but in the more agriculture areas and farming areas, I've noticed a significant decline in, produce being sent here. Walmart's empty. Like our Walmart's empty. And
okay, so how did the Biden-Harris administration cause your Walmart to be empty?
No. I never said that. I wasn't saying that. I was just saying, I'm just making a valid point. A lot of people are voting for Trump, and I'll tell you the reason why.
Well, I mean, so you're saying that there's like something going on in the country right now. There's like issues in the supply chain that weren't like there under Trump's presidency. But like you could only say that this gives you reason not to vote for Trump if Biden and Harris caused it. Like, for instance, we had a record high 14.8% rate of unemployment under Trump's admin in April of 2020. Right? Trump didn't cause that, but that doesn't.
I completely understand that. I'm with you on that. I'm not saying it was caused. I'm telling you why. And this is my debate, and this is what I'm trying to figure out as well. Why are people? I'll tell you why people are voting for Trump right now.
Well, why are you voting for Trump?
Why am I specifically? Because my life was a lot easier. My gas was cheaper, and I know that has nothing to do with it. But people were more comfortable back then. People are seeing it that way.
Okay, so you're just saying that there's some differences in your life under Trump's admin compared to Biden and Harris's, and then you recognize that Trump and Biden and Harris had no impact on that. Would it be fair for me to vote for Harris because I didn't have a girlfriend under Trump? I have under Harris, therefore I want to keep my girlfriend, so I want to vote for Harris.
No, come on, man, that's BS. You can't say that. Come on, man.
I mean, that's seriously just as BS as saying gas low under Trump, gas high.
No, I was just putting up points why
Chris, thank you for the subscription.
Why I'm saying it's why people are voting. This is why I'm saying.
Well, we're talking about you. So how did Biden and Harris cause the price of gas to increase?
They didn't. I never said that.
Okay, so then it's still to BS, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So you admit that your reasoning for voting for Trump is bullshit?
Absolutely. It's all bullshit, man. Like, listen, let me tell you something that I'm going to say. I'm a little bit older than you. I'm probably a little bit older than you, all right?
Hey, Drew,
I'm 25 years old, and I just want to say, man, like, I'm telling you, this is why. I go around, the guy that campaigns, I campaign for the Republicans up in Erie. I don't know if you know that area or not. But I go over there, and I ask people, before I come to your door, before I even say anything to you, give me a good reason why I should be at your door right now.
Hey, Callow, I appreciate you for coming up. This is a debate live. And if you're just self-admitting that your reasons for voting for Trump are bullshit,
I'm trying to get you to turn me over. Like, isn't this your main thing? Like, give me good reasons why my shit is bullshit.
Sure. I could, of course. You should be voting for Kamala Harris because Donald Trump's policy is going to destroy the low and the middle class. The implementation of tariffs, right, causes inflation for the pricing of goods at the grocery store, and that regressively impacts the average American more so than rich people. Right. Okay. Not to mention that his tax reform, his economic policy, right, disproportionately benefits the rich people. And then even further yet, on top of those facts, when we're looking at Kamala Harris's proposed policy, right, it uplifts that average American, makes it easier for people to open a business, right, makes it easier for people to live by like capping the amount of money that they could pay out of pocket for prescription drugs. And then overall, right, Donald Trump is a rapist. He's a 34 count felon and a fraudster. We probably should not like be voting for someone with those characteristics.
No. I agree with you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I've never been here before, and I just wanted to hear what you had to say. It's my first time ever being here. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you for coming up, man. I appreciate you for your time. For the 5.5 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen, y'all. Let's try to get this live sent out across that For You page. You already know how it goes. We got Lisa loading up into the box. Let me know if you are a Trump supporter down below. We're going to go and get you up here. Tap that screen. That's right, Jaden. That's right. Good to see you, man. The love, thank you for the money gun, and Lillian, thank you for the bell. I got you, Lisa. Don't even worry. Don't even worry, Lisa. I got you. Lisa. Don't even worry. Let's go ahead and see what our next guest has to say. All right. Phenomenal. It's so good to see you all. Welcome in. Spam MAGA in the chat if you want to come up and debate. We got our next guests loading in right now. So everyone just give us a minute. We got a little Ask loading up into the live. All right, let's see what we got. We got Easton loading up into the live. What is going on, Lil Ask? Are you guys voting for Trump?
Yes.
Both of you?
Hello?
Hi, Easton. Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
18, sorry.
Yeah, bye.
I swear.
How old are you? MAGA Mobile, quite frankly, unfortunate.
No, my internet.
Thank you for the hands up. I appreciate you for the love. We're going to move on to our next guest, everyone. All right, let's see what we got here. Woo! Moving on. Hello. Are you voting for Trump? Mustafa, thank you for the pump.
Yeah, I will be.
Okay, how old are you?
18.
18. What year were you born in?
2006.
What month?
September
What day?
4th.
How long ago was your birthday?
Dude, it's got to be like a month and a week now.
So okay. You know what? I believe you. Whatever. Okay. Why are you voting for Trump?
I just think Trump's a lot smarter than Kamala, if I had to be honest.
Okay.
So
that insane claim. Why?
Hold on.
So why do you think Trump
see-
is smarter than Kamala Harris?
just kind of, I know that, I'll admit that I'm kind of slow when it comes to like common sense, but I see the same thing in Kamala.
Don't call your.
I'll give you evidence.
Okay, so first of all, don't call yourself slow, but definitely don't call someone else slow. Let's not use that terminology. That's quite rude. So
Well, I don't know.
now that we got that out of the way, I'm still waiting for you to tell me why you think that Trump, the grapist, fraudster, felon, is smarter than Kamala Harris.
Do you believe that Trump had to face a fair trial?
Ryan, I appreciate you so much for the galaxy. So that's quite the fucking pivot. My answer is yes, but quite the pivot.
You're mentioning the felon. So
okay, yeah, he faced a fair trial for his felonies and for the civil court that held him liable for rape. Yep.
Even though the prosecutor was quoted in saying that he will, I don't know how to say it, but like find Trump guilty.
So that's what prosecutors do. So they knew that he committed a crime, and then he ran on prosecuting him for that crime. I find nothing wrong with that.
What prosecutors actually do is find them guilty or not guilty, correct?
Mm-hmm. So the prosecutor's only going to prosecute if they know that they're guilty. That's like that's why we see that the DOJ has like a 93% success rate with their determinations of guilt. You know, but like I'm still waiting for you to give me an argument insofar as how Donald Trump is smarter than Kamala Harris.
So we have seen the clip where Kamala covered her mouth and said, "This is a live stream," right?
She said this is a live stream, yeah. But what does that demonstrate? What the fuck does that demonstrate about her intelligence?
Let me tell you. So that's the evidence now.
Wait, 1 second. 1 fucking second. Hello?
Okay.
Donald Trump said that climate change is not caused by humans, and the Earth is going to get colder. We just don't know it yet, even though 97% of climate scientists disagree. Okay, Donald Trump's not that smart. He sexualized little girls. He's literally raped a woman. Mustafa, I appreciate you for the galaxy. It's great to see you.
Well, you see,
and like not to mention, he said that like windmills cause cancer. Ryan, I appreciate you for the galaxy. He's so not smart that he thought that the 2020 election was stolen from him. He's so out of fucking touch with reality and literally so delusional.
Okay, I don't think the election was stolen from him, but I think the Hunter Biden situation was kind of covered by Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. I mean,
Zuckerberg. Okay, be honest with me, man. Are you saying that the man is smarter than the woman because the man's a man and the woman's a woman?
Dude. When did I? Okay, if we had Judith Polgar, I would have her over each candidate.
I'm waiting for you to give me any evidence that Donald Trump is more
intelligent than Kamala Harris. So you see, when you cover your mouth, but you actually have a mic on you, it doesn't actually prohibit your voice from being spoken. So when she covered her mouth when there was a mic on her, unless there was like.
The mic was on her arm.
Exactly. So why would she
When
say
she was covering her mouth, that was to speak into the mic.
that's not how I'm pretty sure the microphone was on her chest and she just
No, the mic was on her arm.
I'm gonna have to watch the clip back then.
Oh my god, dude! Holy shit! And I just what action here demonstrates more absurdity and idiocy? Speaking into a mic on your arm, asking/saying that it's a live show, or saying that windmills cause cancer.
Okay, first of all, so I'm gonna address your point, right?
No, answer me. Answer my question. Entertain this phenomenal
I haven't studied
debate.
windmills. I haven't studied windmills.
Windmills don't fucking cause cancer. Newsflash.
Sunscreen has toxic chemicals. That's the point. I'm trying to tell you that a lot of things
sunscreen have to do with windmills.
But a lot of things cause cancer that we don't know yet. And it has to be studies done in it. So if
oh my god,
I don't know.
Oh my god, are you defending his claim that how do windmills cause cancer?
I haven't studied it, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that cause cancer, like let's say artificial sweeteners or just a lot of health-related things.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So Donald Trump also said that humans don't cause climate change. Even though that's disputed by 97% of climate scientists. That's also a pretty dumb thing to say. Donald Trump said that the election was stolen from him in 2020 and still believes that to this day. That's a pretty dumb conspiratorial thing to say. So
so I don't believe the election was stolen, but could we agree that the Hunter Biden story was censored?
Okay, so we could talk about the Hunter Biden story next. That is unrelated to what I am claiming.
You just said, but you say stolen it, but you're leaving out the...
No, he thinks that the election was literally stolen from him. He thinks that there were fake ballots implanted.
So this is why it's related, because...
No, I'm so sorry if you don't engage here, and if you keep deflecting, I'm going to kick you. You've deflected from every single fucking point that I've made. Like, literally, I'm bringing up the fact that Donald Trump literally thinks that the election was stolen from him in 2020, insofar as there being fake ballots. And then on top of that,
I don't agree with that, right?
Okay, but so could you admit that that is like a stupid fucking thing that Donald Trump has been saying for the last 4 years? What's more? No. What's more stupid, saying that or like speaking into a microphone on your arm, like saying that it's a live show?
I think it's more. I think it's ignorance more than like stupidity. So I'd say it's covering your mouth to think that you're not being heard by what's in front of you.
Bro, okay. How many continents are there?
7. Hold on. I have a question.
Name them. Name the damn
South America,
continents.
North America, Antarctica, Oceania or Australia, Europe, Africa, Asia.
Okay, you named
Wait,
the continents.
What continent has the most countries?
If I had to guess, it's like probably Africa.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So now going back to what I was saying, can you name one policy that Donald Trump influenced to get passed during his first term that benefited the average American more so than the top 1%?
The stimulus check.
The stimulus. So what was the name of the bill?
Well, I need to pull that up. But
oh, and then also that was like bipartisan, pushed through Congress. Like, can you name like something that he influenced to get passed? Because I wouldn't say that he influenced the stimulus.
I think he influenced to get the. Didn't he appoint certain judges to the Supreme Court to get Roe v. Wade overturned?
So you think taking rights of women is good for the average American? How?
Because I think a second trimester, like, what do you call it, like deadline or, like that the minimum of a second trimester. Do you know what I'm talking about? How that's just the set line?
No, sorry, man. We're gonna go to move on. I appreciate you for coming up, though. I appreciate you for being kind. We're going to go and see what our next guest has to say. Hey, guys, make sure that we're double tapping. Let's try to get up to 600,000 likes. What's going on, Lily? Are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm actually British. But
well, I appreciate you for coming up, Lily. Thank you so much. I'm going to go to move on. Thank you for your time. Lily, I appreciate you for coming up. We are only looking to talk to people that are voting for Trump. Feel free to join the Discord if you want to talk in there with some other people on here. We're gonna go to move on to our next guest here, y'all. So everyone, just do give us a minute, guys. You should listen to people around the world. Yeah, well, I guess we're looking to debate Trump supporters. All right, they're not connecting, guys. Drop a MAGA down below in that chat if you are voting for Trump. Let me know if you want to come up and debate. We're going to get our next guest up in here. Zach, we got you loading in. Ryan, I appreciate you for the galaxy. What's up? Are you voting for Trump? Ryan, thank you for the 2 galaxies. W's for Ryan in the chat. Thank you so much.
I'm not gonna lie, I was just baiting. I'm a minor. I'm not gonna lie.
Hi, are you voting for Trump, Domina? Domia, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to tell you I was voting for Trump?
It's okay. No worries. I appreciate you for coming up. Yeah, guys, make sure if you are in the queue that you are voting for Trump. We're going to move on to our next guest here, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody just do give us a minute. What's going on, Manny? Are you voting for Trump?
So what?
Are you voting for Trump?
Yep.
You are? All right. Why is that?
I just want to know why they only gave us like $750 in North Carolina after we just got our homes destroyed.
Yeah, cool. Great question. So under the Stafford Act, in accordance with federal law, the max amount of money that can be like given through like emergency like means to people like affected by a natural disaster is $750. Right, that's not the only money being funded into like the affected areas. It's just an initial amount to pay for like the first couple of days of like food, water supplies, housing, etc. But that's just like per federal law. And Andrea, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Andrea. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you.
So, but like, why does like the immigrants get more than we get?
What immigrants? Like undocumented migrants?
Yeah, I mean, they come over here and get like thousands of dollars on food stamp cards and all this, and we get our homes destroyed, and we only get $750.
So what federal program exists to like benefit undocumented migrants?
So what do you mean?
Because you're measuring like federal programs. Like that's what I'm saying. So like you're saying that under the Stafford Act, per federal law, right, individual citizens only got approved $750, right? Of course, there's more state level funding specifically from North Carolina that are being injected into that.
But it's not.
If we're only comparing federal, like if we're comparing federal funding, like what federal funding is going to undocumented migrants?
What do you mean?
I think I asked a very clear question. What money from our federal government is going to undocumented migrants?
I mean, are they not getting money when they come over here?
No, not from our federal government, no.
So who do they get it from?
State governments.
So, I mean, why are they even doing that?
I'm not going to explain to you why, because it's super useless. You don't care. You're not going to listen. But once again, you asked me a question. Why is there only $750 in like emergency approved funding? That's just under the Stafford Act. That is the max that they could apply to individual citizens per federal law.
But they can send millions and billions of dollars to other countries, but not help their own people.
So they can and do help their own people. In fact, only 2% of our federal budget goes to other countries. The other 98% goes to you.
So where's our money at? We just got our house destroyed and everything. People died here, and we only get that.
Manny, I told you that the $750 figure, that's the most that is approved under federal law. Huh. So why should we vote for Trump?
That really helps us. Because he probably wouldn't give us $750. He'd probably give us more.
No, man. No, that would be illegal. he can't approve more because that'd be like out of accordance with literal federal law. He actually can't give you more. Also, do you fuck with socialism, bro? You want free handouts from the government? You need to no, Manny, I need you to pull yourself up by your fucking bootstraps. I need you to lock in and figure it out, okay? All right, I'm so done with the communist agenda.
Okay.
Yeah. We got a communist on the live. If it was the Red Scare of the 1970s, you would be on a list, sir.
So how do I need to pull my bootstraps up?
by voting for Kamala Harris, because she obviously doesn't support communism and socialism. She doesn't want to give free handouts to American citizens, according to you. So you need to support her because
that's not a free handout.
Trump is a fucking communist.
We should get a little money, you know.
Well, you guys are the ones that call the fucking child tax credit a free handout. Quit your hypocrisy. Tessa, thank you for the marvelous. I appreciate you for the love. Yeah, the dog's agreeing with me, by the way. I just wanted to put that out there.
She might be, man. I don't know. She's going crazy.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to go over here today, Manny?
Let me think.
Wow.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for coming up, Manny. We're going to move on to our next guest. So let's go and see who we got. Also, Law, are you free to talk later? I would love to talk to you. Gammy, thank you for the happy weekend. We're going to move on to our next guest here. Everybody, what is going on? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
All right. And why is that?
Because he's a Trojan horse for RFK to come in and fix the food system and replenish our soil.
Yeah, where on Agenda 47 do we see proposed policy that would include RFK to fix the food system?
Well, Trump called RFK 3 hours after the first assassination attempt and spoke with him at length. And I think RFK is a pretty trustworthy guy. So I'm going to go ahead and, trust that what Trump keeps his word.
So yeah, what position is he gonna appoint RFK to?
I forget the name of it.
Listen, yeah.
It'll essentially give him the ability to root out the corruption, get the poison out of the food, right?
I have an idea.
Better school lunches, replenish the soil.
Better school lunches. Tim Walz actually passed legislation in Minnesota to make all school lunches free for all kids. And that's actually something that Trump's agenda and his platform has used against him, calling it bad. I'd also like to point out
RFK has spent 40 years litigating against the very three-letter agencies and corrupt companies.
So then write RFK in. So then write RFK in.
Well, no, Trump. He's not running. He's endorsed Trump.
Damn it! I wanted you to throw it away. I wanted you to throw your vote
So
away.
actually, I'm in California, so I may just vote RFK in hopes that he gets the 5% so that we have a third party in 2028. I think that would help everybody to have a third party. Don't you agree?
Well, whatever you do, if you're not voting for Trump, it's okay. It's okay with me. Jaden down here says that he's in California. He's voting for Harris. He's going to cancel your vote out. That's
wait. So, okay.
I appreciate you for coming up. I mean, he just told us he's voting for RFK. By the way, RFK is a rapist. I thought we'd put that out there. He was on an interview, and he was asked about allegations if he had raped a babysitter for his kids, and then he just said, I have skeletons in my closet. Hey, what's up? Ryan, hey, what's going on, man? You voting for Trump?
I'm not voting for Trump. I just want to say I'm a big fan of you. I really appreciate you.
Ryan,
so, yeah.
You're phenomenal. Dude, first of all, I appreciate you for the love on the live here today. And second of all, thank you for popping up. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, man.
Yeah, you too.
Dude, W's for Ryan. W's for Ryan. W's for Ryan. We love you, Ryan. We love you. Let's go and get our next guest up in here, guys. Let's make sure that we're double tapping. Let's try to get up to 1 million likes here today. Everybody just give us a minute here. By the way, make sure you're spelling their name right. That is R-I-A-N. Yeah. Let's see what we got for the 6.7 thousand people hanging out with us in here today. Super great to see you all. We got Carter loading up into the queue. If you want to support me, by the way, the Venmo, Cash App, PayPal in the bio. You guys already know it. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say. Drop a MAGA down below if you do want to come up. Everyone, we got Cam loading up into the queue. Let's see what we got next. Spam MAGA down below. I apologize that this takes a second. What's up, Cam? Are you voting for Trump?
Fuck yeah, brother.
Okay, why?
I mean, look at the fucking borders, dog.
The borders. Okay. So you want to vote? So you align with Trump ideologically speaking on the borders. That's why you want to vote for him.
I do. We need to deport fucking everyone.
Barbara, I appreciate you for the $20 on PayPal. Thank you for the love. Let's get at least 200.
We gotta deport everyone, including
Barbas.
fucking Parker's girl.
You fucking disgust me. Like you're just like so gross. Like you're like it's like I don't know what it is. Like I'm so fucking happy that I didn't turn out like this. You know what I mean? I'm so happy that I'm not you. I'm so happy that there's Americans today who are not like you. Like you're just so fucking like deplorable and sick. Like you couldn't reason your way out of a box. You treat life like it's a joke and you don't care, right, about the harm that you perpetuate onto others. And the reason why you probably don't care is because your IQ is sufficiently low enough where you don't even see it. How do you feel about that, Cam?
You want to fucking unmute me or what? There we go. I mean, I'm looking around, you know what I'm saying? Like, all around where I am, they're filling up fucking hotels full of fucking migrants because Kamala doesn't know how to fucking run the border. She was supposed to be doing this shit.
No, Cam. I wanted you to respond to my claims. I wanted you to respond to my claims about you literally having such a low IQ where you can't even see the harm that you perpetuate onto others. And I'm just beyond fucking happy, right, that most Americans aren't like you and that you are a legitimate drain.
Kamala's the one causing harm by letting these people in, taking our fucking jobs.
Okay, so you see, you won't actually respond to what I'm saying. It's hilarious.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you. You came up here. You said that we should deport Parker's girlfriend. That is just blatant and obvious racism.
Yeah, I heard she's undocumented.
Oh, okay. And where did you hear that from, Cam?
He admitted it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did on live the other day.
Yeah, you're just making shit up. We're not even going to give you any attention.
No, I'm not.
We're going to go ahead and move on. We're not even going to give him any attention. That's so sick. Yeah, we're not even going to waste our time on him. We're just going to move on. Everyone just give us a minute. For the 6.3 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, make sure that we're double tapping. That is so sick, man. Mom, I appreciate you for the hand arts. Like, like God. And I know that like some people were saying that to Parker on his stream. Like it just upsets me because that's like one of my like best friend's girlfriend. I can't imagine like how much that upset him because it's like, literally his like loved one. You know what I mean? Like it's just so gross. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Hey, no worries. Are you voting for Trump?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. So why are you voting for Trump?
Well, mainly I'm just voting for JD Vance, not Trump itself.
JD Vance, really? Why? Let's hear it.
Well, actually, just because by his that he served the military.
Oh, okay.
I'm big on the military since my whole family's military.
Okay, so Tim Walz served longer.
Yeah, but he also
I
said on the
appreciate you for the
interview
$10
that
on
he,
PayPal. Thank you for the love.
Yeah, but he also said that he's a friends with shooters in the interview, so
okay, so
I kind of don't trust him.
So I just want to clarify. So you think when he said that he was friends with school shooters, you think that he actually fucking meant that? Or can you use like any contextual clues and recognize that he was like actively talking about, right, the preemptive means that we need to take to reduce the amount of school shootings that we have, and that he was talking about how he was friends with the families of victims of school shootings, and he had a gaffe in his speech. Like, can you apply like your brain for like 5 seconds here? And Gianna, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. W's for Gianna in the chat. Thank you so much for the $20.
I understand that some
W's
people
for
in
Gianna in the chat.
interviews
Thank you for
do
the $20.
miss up their words, but he didn't correct himself afterwards.
Okay, so you I just want to clarify. You literally think that he is friends with school shooters?
I don't think so, but he didn't say.
Oh, okay. So you agree that he misspoke?
Yes, I can see that somebody misspoke, but he didn't correct himself.
Okay, so you think that when we do bad things that we should apologize?
Yes.
Okay, so when did Trump apologize for raping E. Jean Carroll?
He didn't. He's a bunch of crap. Like I said, I don't support Trump.
So Trump was held civilly liable by an anonymous jury of his peers
that.
for raping E. Jean Carroll.
Yes, I understand
you believe that he's not a
I don't
rapist. Why
support
so?
him. I support JD Vance.
So why do you reject the findings of the court?
I don't deny it.
Okay, so you do think that he raped E. Jean Carroll?
Yes.
Okay, so you'd rather vote for a grapist over a non-grapist because the guy on the other side misspoke saying that he's friends with school shooters.
Like I said, I'm only voting for JD Vance. I don't think Trump will
he served
be
in the
on
military
office very long.
Yeah, first of all, Trump literally dodged the draft 5 times, and then second of all, Tim Walz served longer in the military.
One, I don't know Tim Walz personally, but I don't trust his words.
Okay, so why don't you trust Tim Walz, and why do you trust JD Vance?
Just because of the interviews that JD Vance has done, that he actually...
He's been dodging the question on if Trump won 2020 for like 3 months.
There's so much
Bree, thank you for the subscription.
weirdness on the actual thing because mail ballots has some kind of issue.
Could you stop being weird? Like, I'm asking you why you think that Tim Walz is not trustworthy and why you think JD Vance is trustworthy, and like you're not giving me anything here. And then also like the fact that your center focus is like JD Vance. I would expect you to give me like an incredulous argument on like why JD Vance would serve our country so well, but you're not even giving me that. You're just saying it's because he's served in the military. Vance, they give the $5 on
I'm voting for him based on his interviews.
Or like what specifically in his interviews makes you want to vote for him?
His idea of that the Republican Party needs to take more responsibility for their other actions and needs to actually fix their issues. And he wants to be a part of actually trying to fix the issues with the Republican Party.
Like what issues, and how do they intend to fix them?
I don't know how he's going to tend to do it because he's not in office yet.
What are the issues?
That they aren't really for the people. Pretty much, the Republican Party isn't really for the people, and they are doing.
So you want to vote for the party that you believe isn't for the people.
I wanted to do somebody that's actually wanting to actually change their party.
So how's JD Vance going to change that?
Yes.
How's he going to change it?
That he's going to talk and try to figure out the main issue on the actual party and actually figure out a plan to actually fix it.
I have a question. Would you ever vote for a rapist?
No.
Okay. Well, Donald Trump is a rapist.
According to what happened in 30 years ago, yes.
So that means you never vote for Donald Trump?
No.
You never vote for Trump?
No, I'm an independent. The only reason I'm voting this year is because of a.
So you're not. I just want to clarify. You will not be voting for the Trump Vance ticket in November.
No, I'm not voting. Period.
You're so confusing.
If I had to vote.
Okay. Purdy, thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the love, Purdy. Let's get some massive W's for Purdy in the chat. That is so kind of you. Thank you so much for the love. Massive W's for Purdy down below in the chat. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Purdy. Massive W's for Purdy down below. We are going to go ahead and move on to our next guest right now. We may even try to do a restart on the stream here, but seriously, thank you so much for the love, Purdy. You are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much. Massive W Purdy's down below. I think that a restart might honestly be worth it. Also, guys, I didn't really talk about this at all yesterday because, we had more important things to discuss. But motherfuckers, I hit 1 million followers. That's insane. That's insane, you guys. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Hey, Dean. How's it going?
It's going all right, man. You voting for Trump?
I am. I have one point that I feel like has not been addressed. And I'm not a super big Trump person, but I was hoping that maybe me and you could talk about it civilly.
Yeah, let's hear, man.
Yeah, so the main reason, and I think Chris talked about this slightly earlier, was RFK Jr. The one thing that I will say is with the Democratic campaign, I feel like they kind of booted RFK Jr. off the ticket, which took my vote away from RFK Jr.
The two things here. So some people are saying that they booted him off the ticket, and then some other people are now saying that they kept him on the ticket. So like, which one is it?
I personally thought that they booted him off the ticket. I'm
gonna be honest, I don't care.
You don't think so? No.
Like how do they kick him off the ticket?
Well, I thought that them not giving him the Secret Service protection was one of the things that cost his campaign a lot of money, which also took away from his campaign. And then also the fact that they kept him in.
I'll agree that Biden should have given him Secret Service protection much earlier. I actually do agree with you on that. But
That is
I think that that's ultimately like inconsequential and like doesn't really like matter that much in the grand scheme of things.
I think it does matter to an extent because it did take away money from his campaign. I mean, he was paying out of his own pocket, hundreds of thousands of dollars for, his own Secret Service protection because they weren't affording him
But
that.
like, why does that make you want to vote for Trump over Harris? And Purdy, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. I appreciate you for the love, Purdy. Massive W's for Purdy down below. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Massive W's for Purdy. I could say that Trump increasing the corporate tax rate on small businesses from 15 to 21% took millions of, not billions of dollars out of the hands of small business owners. Ebony, thank you for the $10 on PayPal saying congrats on 1 mil. I appreciate you for the love, Ebony. Then we could also say here that he wants to implement tariffs, right, on all imports. That is going to take billions of dollars out of the hands of the average American, due to the inflation that will cause for the pricing of goods at the grocery store. So, I mean, if you care about taking resources away from people that deserve the resources, you should definitely be voting for Kamala Harris.
Well, I will say that I think that the Democrat campaign putting him in legal allegations and keeping him in court also increased him getting pulled from his campaign, which then ultimately
that's just a conspiracy theory. You would never be able to clearly demonstrate to us all how the Biden-Harris administration, right, with negative intention, pursued lawfare against Bobby. You will not be able to prove that to us.
I will say that Bobby did came out and claimed himself, which I know is hearsay. I will agree with you there. I will say, but I mean, I would trust him enough to.
Annie, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. So I just want to clarify, you're voting for the rapist felon, wannabe dictator on day one that has sexualized little girls that's going to destroy the low and middle class because RFK said Democrats bad. I just want to clarify, that's your argument, right?
So no, I would vote for RFK, but I do to a point.
So why are you voting for Trump?
I'm not.
Okay, dude, this is so annoying. I'm so sorry, but what's going on with God, okay, it's fine. For the 5.6 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, we are going to go ahead and restart this stream here. I think that we had things going all right, but then we just had a couple weird disingenuous guests up here in a row. So everyone click on my profile and then count to 10, then refresh, and then I'm going to be right back on live. We're going to hop right back into the debates. We're just going to do a little bit of a restart. Also, Alejandro, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love, Alejandro. You are phenomenal. So yeah, I'm going to be right back, guys. I'll see you all in a second. What is up, Virtue? What is up, Picnic? What is up, Proxy? What is up, Philip, Kiara, Alex? What is up, Jazo, Mana, Angel? What is up, Jacqueline, Sunflower, MK? What is up, Arion, Larry? What is up, Nico, Farida? What is going on, Ginger, KP? What is up, Amelia, Brian, Aquarius, Luna, Morgan, Kaya, Ariella, Victoria, JFD. Welcome into the live, everyone. Welcome back in. For everyone piling right back in here, help me get this live sent out across the For You page here by double tapping. We need to get right back up to 100,000 likes. That's how we do it here, guys. So make sure that we're double tapping. You also got that share button down below at the bottom right-hand corner of your phone screen. Share it around with a few friends. That helps get the live pushed out more. You could also just copy the link because all that's important is the engagement with the live. We're going to go ahead and just hop right back into our debates. You guys are doing phenomenal with that early engagement. I love you all. So yeah, let's see what our first guest of the night has to say. We're going to go and get Gerard up in here. Phenomenal. For the first 2,000 people hanging out, what's good? Hey, what's up, Gerard? Are you voting for Trump?
How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. Are you voting for Trump?
Definitely, 100%.
All right, Gerard. So why are you voting for Donald Trump? Okay, and he left. Gerard, I miss you, man. I wanted to converse. That sucks. Let's go and see what our next guest has to say. Hop back in the queue, Gerard, if you didn't mean to leave. Let's go to see what our next guest here has to say. Everyone, just do give us a minute. Be patient while we get our next guest up in the box, literally right now, for the 2.4 thousand people hanging out with us in here today. Make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, sharing out that live. Once again, let's go ahead and see what our next guest, Landon, has to say. Everyone be patient while Landon is loading in. By the way, guys, is Parker live or is he not on yet?
Dean, I love you. You're amazing. Fuck Trump.
I appreciate you for the love, Landon. W's for Landon down below. We're going to go to get our next guest up in the box right now. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got Bree loading up in. Not yet. Phenomenal. I wonder when he's going to go live. Hey, what's up, Bree? Are you voting for Trump?
All right. So at this point.
All right. By the way, Parker, if you're watching live, and I just saw your text, no. The answer is no. We got Carter loading up in here, guys. Everyone, just give us a minute.
Loading up in, not yet. Hello.
Oh, hey, what's up, Carter? Are you voting for Trump? First, are you driving?
No.
Queen, thank you for the Tom. And Alyssa, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. W's for Queen and Alyssa. Thank you so much. Let's go and get our next guest up in here literally right now, guys. Please let me know in the chat if you are MAGA. What's up? Are you voting for Trump? What is going on today? This sucks. My apologies, guys. We got Larry loading in. What's up, Larry? You voting for Trump, man?
Oh my God, is this Dean Withers? Bro, I'm such a big fan.
I appreciate you for the love, Larry. You got me. You got me, Larry. You got me. Moving on to Chris. Everyone give us a minute. Anna, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Anna. Thank you so much. W's for Anna. Hey, Chris, are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I'm voting for Trump. But first, I'd like to clarify. I'm not I don't really like Trump.
So why are you voting for him?
Yeah. So, firstly, I do think he would control the border a lot better.
I disagree. He's pro open borders. He torpedoed a bipartisan border bill in the House and the Senate 2 years ago.
I think that was 1 year ago. But yeah, also. I think you could say he was right about, the bipartisan border bill, because recently, Biden did what Trump wanted to do, which was, So, this past month was the lowest border crossings reported during Biden's run.
Do you mind if I just ask you here what time is it right now?
What do you mean?
Like what time is it?
Where I live?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 6 p.m.
Nice, man. What state are you out of?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Hell yeah, bro. It's nice over there. I was actually down there last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, can go ahead and continue. Why you voting for Trump?
Yeah. So you mentioned the bipartisan border bill, but this past month, Biden basically proved that Trump was right about the bill. That it's not necessary to decrease the border crossings and control the border, because Biden this past month. Was a lot stricter on the border, and that's the reason for the record low crossings.
Okay, so what is your argument?
Oh no, I'm just saying. You mentioned the bipartisan
border, but yeah, because we should be passing bipartisan legislation through Congress, right? Because means through executive orders are temporary, yes. and they're not exhaustive, and they don't last forever, right? It's much better to approach these things with congressional legislation.
Yeah, but you mentioned so Trump said that wouldn't be necessary.
But that doesn't matter, right? The fact of the matter is we had a border crisis, right? We had a tool that could resolve the border crisis, the bipartisan border bill, and then Trump shot it down. If Trump cared about the southern border, he wouldn't have shot it down. I think that demonstrates that he doesn't care about the southern border and that he wanted the crisis to continue, right? So he could capitalize off of it by getting more people to vote for him.
Yeah, but Trump said it wouldn't be necessary to implement the bipartisan border bill, and that they can decrease the crossings and control the border just by being stricter, and that's what Biden did this past month.
So he shot down the bipartisan border bill because it wasn't necessary? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because
but it would have ended the crisis. You understand that we want to first address issues with congressional legislation because they're more effective and permanent.
Okay, but it's not like
so Donald Trump. You're saying that Donald Trump wants less effective and temporary means to solve a crisis at our border compared to permanent.
It's not less effective though.
It is. Yes, executive orders are less effective as they're temporary. Like, okay, I'm also just confused on what your point is here. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. What do you like? Please just give it. Try. Yes. Let's hear the argument.
My point is that what Trump did and what Biden did this past month was be stricter. With the
Chris, hello.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, I'm not too educated on this, the bipartisan border bill, but I'm pretty sure this past month, the reason the crossings were at a record low is because Biden just did what Trump.
I appreciate you for the subscription. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, we have lower levels of crossing now than we had at the end of Trump's term.
Yeah.
Right. So do you have a border crisis today?
Yeah.
So Kamala Harris, we do. So we also had a border crisis at the end of Trump's term.
Yeah, but
okay. So if you care about the border, why do you want to vote for Trump when you say that he couldn't solve the crisis in 4 years?
That was only because of the pandemic. It was the
no, actually, the pandemic gave him more authority and more power to close the border down.
Okay, so moving past the border issue, another reason why I'm voting for Trump is because, to be honest, I don't think Democrats or the Democratic Party is good for freedom of speech.
No, Donald Trump wants to put people in jail for burning the American flag when the Supreme Court has ruled that is strictly protected under their First Amendment right to freedom of expression, right? So so can you please give me an example of the Democrat platform wanting to put people in jail for free speech? Because that's what Trump wants to do. He's actively campaigning on it.
Did Trump ever say he would put people in jail because of something they said on social media or...
No, for free speech, burning the American flag. That's protected under the First Amendment. The Supreme Court ruled.
I don't think that's the same as freedom of speech.
It is. It is freedom of expression. You're referencing the First Amendment. That is constitutionally protected under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. That is the same exact thing.
Okay, so what about when Tim Walz says there's no guarantee to free speech or
You're saying misinformation, right? But once again, that does not compare to wanting to put people in jail for something protected under the First Amendment. Give me an example of the Democrat party, that's crazy, party or platform wanting to violate the Constitution and put people in jail for First Amendment protected behavior.
So I think Kamala, or is it Kamala? I don't know how it said.
Yeah, you pronounce it right, man.
Oh, so I think she said that she will that the First Amendment is basically that there's no guarantee to it or something like that.
No, she never said that. That's a lie. You just lied in front of 4.4 thousand people.
Okay, so.
Why did you just be honest? Did you just make that up on the spot?
I mean, I can't really remember. I didn't really do any preparation for this or.
Okay, but be honest. Did you just make that up?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't remember it correct.
All right. Appreciate you for coming up. If you're just gonna make stuff up, I'm gonna unfortunately move on to the next guest. But thank you so much for coming up. For the 4.6 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. What's going on, GT? Are you voting for Trump? All right, GT left. Guys, drop a maggot down below in the chat if you do want to come up and debate. We're going to get our next guest, Noah, up in the box, guys. Make sure that we're double tapping, sharing out this live with a handful of friends. He literally just admitted that he made that up. Hey, Noah, are you voting for Trump?
No, I'm Canadian, but I just had a question.
Caroline, I appreciate you for the $50 on Venmo. Let's get some massive W's for Caroline in the chat. Thank you for the $50 on Venmo. It means the world to me. Massive W Caroline's down below literally right now. Thank you so much for the love. W Caroline, thank you.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, man? You voting for Trump?
Fuck yeah, dude. I hope they put Parker's girl in a cage, too.
Okay, I have a question. What is 2 squared?
What is 2 squared for? I'm smarter than you, boy.
Okay. So how many continents are there?
7.
7. What's your favorite continent?
Right now it's America, but
Yeah,
until
see what
they
I
put Parkers- until- until they
I mean.
report all those fucking
See what I mean. See what I fucking mean. See what the fuck. Yeah, that's what I wanted to demonstrate. No one cares. No one cares about you. Not a single soul cares. You think that America is a continent. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Thank you for letting me demonstrate that to everyone watching the live. Thank you. What's going on? Are you voting for Trump? Okay, they're not here. Spam MAGA down below in the chat if you want to come up. Oh, thank you so much for letting me demonstrate that. Oh, great. Thank you. We're going to move on. What's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
Are you sure?
We're going to move on. We got an echo. Let's go and get our next guest, Brody, up in the box, guys. I do apologize for the lack of debates today. I don't know what's going on. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on today. This is crazy. We're gonna go and get our next guest up in here. What's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
I am, yes.
Let's talk about it. Why in the hell would you do such a thing?
For me, it's primarily about national security. I think he'll be better on the kind of the global stage than she will be.
I completely and utterly attest and reject that. 110%. Donald Trump is a warmonger. 110%. He says that he wants Israel to flatten Iran. He says that if he was president and Russia invaded Ukraine, he would have nuked Moscow. He has believed foreign dictators over U.S. intelligence. We have leaked Kremlin documents stating that Putin thinks he's easy to manipulate. He stole classified documents. He tried to stage a coup to overthrow our own government, posing an internal threat to our nation's security and its democracy. He is terrible for national security. I hate saying this. You might be better for our nation's security compared to Donald Trump.
I doubt that very much. Under his administration, he normalized relations between Israel, Sudan, UAE, a couple other countries. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it was the first time in 30 years.
So why won't you respond to any of the claims that I just made?
I'm sorry, say it again?
I gave you a cohort of reasons why he's bad for national security, and you didn't respond to any of the claims that I made. Oh, by the way, I can't hear you in your pause. Hello? Okay, he just left. We're going to move on to our next guest. Okay. All right, let's go and get our next guest up in the box, guys. Dude, seriously weird day. Seriously weird day. Seriously weird ass day. We are going to go and get our next guest up in here literally right now. Everyone be patient. ASA, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying good to see you back. I appreciate you for the love, ASA. Thank you so much for the $10. W's for ASA in the chat. What's up, Maddie? Are you voting for Trump?
Hi. Yes, I am. Okay. I'm independent though, so I'm not
So why do you want Why do you want to vote for Trump, Maddie? Let's hear it.
I just think that under the Trump administration, just inflation wasn't as insane, and one day I do want to be a homeowner, but just by the way that the economy is going right now, it is just not seeming like that. No one can afford it. And just salaries are not or wages are not matching the prices. So people are making more money, but they aren't affording more.
I hear you. So about your last claim, that one is unfortunately false, right? We actually have seen an increase in real median wages, which is comparing wages to inflation. Okay. Second of all, right, inflation under Obama's term, under Biden and Harris's term compared to Trump's doesn't give you any reason to vote for Trump over Harris, because the inflation was onset by the pandemic, not caused by the Biden-Harris administration. The same inflation happened in every single country around the world, but in fact, we had the quickest rebound from it out of any other country in the G7 because of the Biden-Harris administration. About being a homeowner, the only platform that's actively advocating for it to be easier for you to buy your first home would be Harris. She wants to give a $25,000 subsidy for first-time home buyers buying newly developed properties. An estimated 3 million houses are going to be built in the next 4 years if she's elected and then policies implemented.
But also during like the VP debate, well, neither vice presidents could answer the question on how they're going to build the 3 million extra houses or whatever. And
well, I mean, that one's pretty easy to answer. It's just going to be created to give a natural incentive in the market. So when we offer a $25,000 subsidy to first-time homebuyers, what we see is that increases demand for newly developed properties, right? And given an increase in demand, that will give home developers more of an incentive to build because they'll be able to charge more. But the higher rate that they'll be charging for these houses will be less than that $25,000 subsidy. So at the end of the day, it's still a net benefit for the consumer, given the extra incentive to build new houses.
But don't you also have to pay the subscription? You have to pay the loan back to them after they give you that money. So like, wouldn't that be on top of the mortgage that you have to?
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know if that's true, but like even if it is, that will like still like increase the incentive to buy houses. Like it's when you sell the house, $25,000 is just taken off of it and given back to the government. But I don't think that's true. I think it's like a $25,000 subsidy that you get to keep. It goes towards your down payment, and that's it.
Okay, and then also like you feel confident in like Kamala, even though like she never really gives like a forward answer, and like
what? No, Elizabeth, thank you for the subscription.
When she asks about like anything of just the economy, she starts off that she was in the middle class and then just never like answers the question and just
we know more about her proposed policy for the economy than Donald Trump's. We know exactly who she wants to cut taxes for. We know exactly how much it's going to cost, and we know exactly how much and we know exactly how she's going to pay for it. Zill, I appreciate you for the subscription. When we're talking about Donald Trump and his proposed policy, we know kind of who he wants to cut taxes for, and we kind of know how much it's going to cost because of estimates from the CBO, and we have no fucking clue how he's going to pay for it, and he's given conflicted answers time and time and time again, and now he's just at a point where he's not giving any answers, not to mention that he hasn't been able to answer if he won or lost 2020, neither has J.D. Vance. He hasn't been able to answer if he graved Eugene Carroll. He hasn't been able to answer if he's a 34-count felon. He hasn't been able to answer much. The con man is probably going to give you more non-answers than the prosecutor, huh?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, Trump definitely isn't, like, the first, like, politician to commit crimes. Like, a bunch of dirty shit happens behind the scenes that none of us ever see. So, like, I just think the entire government is kind of just fucked in general.
Wait, so what court held Biden or Harris liable for raping a woman?
I'm not saying that they did rape a woman. I'm just saying there are other just crimes and felonies that other politicians have
okay, but like we have no reason to believe that Kamala Harris is a rapist. Like you're just kind of like assuming that to be true given conspiracy theory to justify your vote for Trump.
I'm not saying that I never thought that she raped someone. Okay,
so you'd rather vote for the rapist over the non-rapist?
It's so much more than that though. I'm just like,
what is it?
And like also just like you think it's like the whole like Roe v. Wade thing, like that's a mess. And just like Kamala is just like manipulating all these just women into just like voting for her, even though half the stuff that she's saying isn't completely true.
Okay, wait, 1 second. Saying that you're going to reinstitute federal protections for a woman's right to choose isn't manipulating women into voting for you. It's just recognizing that she's the only person in the race that respects their rights. Did Trump manipulate oil execs and billionaires into voting for him when he told him that he'd give them massive tax cuts at Mar-a-Lago?
Roe v. Wade, literally, okay, he overturned Roe v. Wade. People acted like he was taking all rights, which isn't true. He just brought it back to the states.
Do you think that Roe v. Wade should be at the states?
Where people, it's more local. It's more for the people. So if your state, if you want your state to have abortion up to whatever amount of weeks, then you have to be locally involved in your local government. The federal government, like, the Supreme Court, like what?
I hear you, Maddie. So you think it should go from the federal level to the state level because that'll put more power in the hands of the people. Let me ask you a question.
That's what Roe v. Wade. That's why. But why are people mad that Trump overturned Roe v. Wade then?
Yeah, Maddie, I hear you. Let me ask you a question. Would you be okay with it now going from the state level to the county level to put even more individualistic power into the hands of the constituents of each county?
Sure, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's more power in the hands of the people. But what if we took it from the county level to the city level? Then we'll put even more power in the hands of the people.
But that's not going to happen.
But we're not going to stop there. What if we were to take it from the city level to the household level for even more hands in the power of the people, taking it from the household level into the hands of each and every single American woman and girl? How about that? If we want to give the most individualistic power and expression to each American citizen concerning a woman's right and access to choose abortion, then we need to federally protect and codify protections for a woman's choice, because that puts the most power in the hands of the people.
But do you believe that having abortions up to like the second trimester is right?
Yeah, I do. I think that any abortion, any elective lethal abortion,
so how does that? So how does? But up to, you said 20?
Yeah.
So how does that affect or just make, say, these women who did want these pregnancies and they miscarried at 20 weeks? Are you just going to be like, it was just a fetus? Like, you're going to invalidate their feelings just because they wanted the baby, but then like a woman who doesn't want the baby, you're like, whatever, like it's a cell, like it doesn't matter, it doesn't have
I think I understand what you're asking here. You're asking if like I would invalidate the feelings of a woman who miscarries, saying that what she miscarried was invaluable and doesn't matter at all, it's just a fetus, a clump of cells. Like I could say that there's no intrinsic value associated with the life of a fetus before it has the ability to deploy consciousness, while still recognizing that that can mean a lot to people. Like, for instance, there's no like intrinsic value to billion-dollar billionaire supercars. Okay, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna walk up to a billionaire and like destroy their supercar, like the Mona Lisa, for instance, hanging in the Louvre. Yeah, there's no intrinsic value to that shit, but like millions of people go there just to look at the Mona Lisa. I'm not going to like tear it off the wall, throw tomato soup on it. So like if there's a woman that's pregnant, wants to maintain her pregnancy and recognizes that as her child, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, I that's endearing. I bet a lot of people want that at some point in their life, but that doesn't change the fact of the matter that we shouldn't associate moral value with it insofar as deeming it to be murder if it's killed.
But like also it's like, take account if a pregnant woman is like unfortunately unalived, they count that as a double homicide. So they are taking account of that second life. So saying it's not a life, isn't that kind of contradicting it?
So first of all, is alive, it's just not a morally valuable one. And then second of all, I agree with their classification of that being a double homicide. I think that's a good thing, right? I think that should be the case. And I could give you an analogy to prove this point. What kind of car do you drive?
A Ford Escape.
A Ford Escape. If you walk up to your Ford Escape and you break the windshield and tear the door off, did you do anything wrong? Should you go to jail?
No, because it's mine.
Phenomenal. But Maddie, if I walk up to your Ford Escape tomorrow in the middle of the night without you knowing, tear the door off, break the windshield, key the side, should I go to jail?
I mean, sure, yeah, since not yours.
Great. So it's like a woman can consent to killing the fetus inside of her uterus, well, because it's exactly that. It's her fetus
but what
inside
about
of her uterus.
The other half?
But when a non-consenting third party walks up and kills her and the fetus, right, that would be classified as murder because it is no longer the justified termination of human life.
Okay,
in fact, it's now the unjustified termination of human life, which is how I define murder.
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, what about, like, just I'm not saying like abortions should be banned, like that shouldn't happen, and it's not going to happen. But
so it's already it's already been banned in 20 over 50 states. 1 out of every 3 women no longer have access.
Or is it just restricted to like?
Oh yeah, banned. So 1 out of every 3 women no longer have access to elective lethal abortions. And then we even see in 12 states that no woman, even if they're a victim of rape, has access to abortion. In fact, there's been 65,000 women who have been raped and did get pregnant in the state of Texas since Roe v. Wade that's been overturned that haven't been able to get abortions.
Oh yeah, I think there definitely should be exceptions of those unfortunate cases, but it's just like there's another person made that life, so shouldn't they have some sort of say to it? And
like the man?
And I'm not saying like, okay, so
the man?
if the woman,
talking about the man?
Yeah.
A man should have a say in an abortion. Well, let me just ask
I'm
you a
not
question.
saying they should like control the woman, but they should have some type of input because it is it's part of them. It's like their DNA is in with that woman. Is not like, and I'm just saying like, I don't know.
Do you know? So if a woman gets pregnant and the man wants to keep the baby, she wants to get an abortion. Should she be able to get an abortion?
I mean, that's just a tough conversation that they have to have. But it's the same thing of like if
no.
Okay, what if
it's a non-answer? Legally speaking, if a woman wants to get an abortion, but the man does not want her to get an abortion, should she legally be able to get an abortion?
If she doesn't want to have it, then sure.
Okay, so what you're promoting here is not legislation that would give men control and say so over women's bodies, but you're just rather saying that people like should engage in conversations with their significant others if they get pregnant. That's like a whole other issue. I ultimately think that it is the woman's choice, but there's nothing wrong with saying that if a woman chooses and consents to valuing the say-so of their significant other, like there's no issue in that. But of course we shouldn't like legally enforce that whatsoever, because ultimately that'll just give like a man a control over a woman's body.
But wouldn't just like saying there's no consequences to having sex, like the actions of their is that not so? Like if you consent to having sex, you consent to possibly having a life, creating a life. So like it's unfortunately a consequence, so you should be careful about who you sleep with. There we
go. If you consent to smoking cigarettes, do you consent to possibly getting lung cancer?
Yes.
But if you get lung cancer, should you be able to go to your doctor's office and get it eradicated with chemotherapy?
Lung cancer is not the same as a baby.
Okay, so then you're saying the reason that it's wrong to get an abortion isn't because she engaged in sex knowing that it ran the risks of pregnancy, but rather it's wrong because it's terminating the life of a baby. See, those are two different arguments there.
Okay, whatever you believe.
I mean, which one is it? Like, is it wrong for a woman to get an abortion because she consented to sex and that obligates her to deal with pregnancy if it occurs? Or is it wrong because it's terminating the life of a fetus?
I think it's both. Like it's not just one simple answer.
Okay, it's both of them. Well, we know that the first reason is BS, right? Like, I mean, the argument that, oh, well, a woman like consented to sex knowing that it ran the risk of pregnancy, therefore we are going to punish her and the kid by forcing an unwanted kid into her household, decreasing levels of education, income, and employment, lowering overall qualities of life, shifting the American family dynamic from financially well-off adults that consent to start a family, that desire to raise kids, to forcing 18, 19, 20-year-old boys and girls into doing exactly that. That's a bad argument because you're just advocating for punishment and control over women's bodies who engage in particular actions that you don't think they should, okay? But the second argument of saying that abortion is wrong because you value life of the fetus, lovely, I appreciate you for the subscription. We can talk about that one. So, like, why do you think the life of a fetus is morally valuable, Maddie?
I'm just saying it's okay, well, it's hard to not, I'm not saying it's my personal beliefs. Like, I personally wouldn't get one, but I'm not saying, like, other people can't because of...
Woo! Then you should vote for Kamala Harris because she wants to institute and codify federal protections for every single woman and girl's right to choose. Okay? Like the whole argument that you gave earlier about wanting it to go back to the state so more people have more of a control and say so over their legislation, that's actually false. Because remember, like hypothetically speaking, we give the most control, power, and say so into the hands of American citizens to decide about abortion if we federally protect the access. Because when we rescind it back to the state, that's taking the control out of the hands of the women and it's just placing it into the hands of the white men in DC. And Joe, thank you for the subscription. And I demonstrated that conceptually by saying like, oh, from the federal level to the state level, you think there's more control in the hands of the citizens. Take it like hypothetically from the state level to the county level, putting even more individualistic power into the hands of the citizens. What if we were to hypothetically take it from the county level to the city level to the household level into the hands of the individual women? All of a sudden, that's how we put the most power into the hands of the individual American citizens, and we institute that power through codification of federal protections so we could keep the county, the state out of it.
Okay, so like what about that one case that the media is kind of just twisting the actual truth about that woman who unfortunately passed away? I think she was in Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not. Brian, I appreciate you for the $5. So that is super irrelevant to the conversation that we've been having so far, and I also don't want you to like manipulate and twist a woman dying because of misogynistic legislation on my live. It's just not. How is that relevant to the conversation that we're having?
It's about abortion. How is that not relevant to the topic?
Because I was being incredibly like specific with your argument why you think it should be rescinded back to the state. I conceptually demonstrated how your own logic would entail that there should be federal protections for a woman's right to choose. Right? And you made another argument that they should be obligated to deal with like pregnancy because of engaging in sex knowing the risk. I demonstrated that is fallacious. You made the argument that life of the fetus was valuable. I asked you why. Bringing up a woman who died because she was denied access to abortion doesn't do anything for you here, right? We should probably leave Amber Thurman alone.
Okay, if you want to leave it alone, you can leave it alone.
I have a question. Would you ever let me ask you this way. Why do you care about someone and support someone that doesn't care or support you? Donald Trump is very sexist and misogynistic, and he always has been. He has sexualized little girls, saying that he dated a 10-year-old girl in 10 years.
So is Biden, though. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Biden, obviously, Kamala supports Biden as she was a VP. He literally said he likes sniffing little girls' hairs, and there's, like, videos of that happening. So no,
Biden's never gone on the record saying that he likes to sniff little girls' hairs.
But sorry, it was the sitting on the laps part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, he did go on record saying that. It was weird, but like that doesn't compare to Donald Trump raping a woman. That doesn't, Nadia, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. W's for Nadia in the chat. That doesn't compare to Donald Trump being held civilly liable for rape. That doesn't compare to Donald Trump boasting to Howard Stern on SiriusXM about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls to inspect them while they change. That doesn't compare to Donald Trump telling a 10-year-old girl that he was going to be dating her in 10 years, literally sexualizing her youth. Right? That doesn't compare to him saying that he dated his daughter if he wasn't his daughter, agreeing with Howard Stern when he called his own daughter a piece of ass. That doesn't compare to him saying that he likes to grab women by the P word without asking first, and that he just can't resist kissing beautiful women. And then on top of that, Biden is not running for president. Kamala Harris is. In November, I will be voting for the non-sexist, non-misogynist over the sexist and misogynist. Why aren't you?
Just the things that Kamala believes in, I just don't personally believe it in it.
What?
I just think she doesn't take it seriously, but that's just a personal opinion.
Like what specific beliefs of Kamala Harris's do you think are deal breakers for you to vote for him in November?
I mean, she really didn't have policies before she started running, and she didn't go through pre-election. So
dude,
she
Maddie, you just said that she didn't have her proposed policies before she was running on her proposed policies. Do you realize what you just said? That's like me, dude. That's like me saying that's like
people.
I'm sorry, Maddie. That's
I just laugh at
I know.
everyone.
My apologies. That's like saying that you don't have a college degree before you graduate from college.
You don't have a college degree before, because you. Okay.
Like you're saying that she didn't have policies that she was running on before she ran.
But after she announced she was running, I just couldn't find any of her policies.
Yeah, because it did take about 3-4 weeks to compile a list of all like 74 of her policies. Yeah.
Okay.
So your deal breaker is that she took 3 weeks to tell America her proposed policies. Just want to clarify that's Kamala Harris's deal breaker.
That's not her deal. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Whatever. I don't know. I'll vote for whoever.
You'll vote for whoever? So maybe Gabriella, thank you for the $20 and the 50 cents on PayPal. Let's get some massive W's for Gabriella in the chat. I really appreciate you for the love, Gabriella. Massive W's down below for Gabriella, literally right now. It means the world to me. Thank you so much for the love. Massive W, Gabriella, down below. Well, Maddie, I appreciate you for coming up in here and being respectful. I apologize if I've been disrespectful to you, and I hope that you will continue to watch the live, and maybe I could sway your vote over to Harris. Brim, thank you for the subscription, and have a good rest of your day, Maddie. Hello, R, are you voting for Trump?
Hello, good my nigga.
Okay, it's a little fetus slurring. We're going to move on to our next guest. I do apologize for that. Let's go and see what our next guest, Momo, has to say. Everyone, just give us a minute. In the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 600,000 likes. Hello, Momo, are you voting for Trump?
Yep.
All right, why so?
Cause he's hella goated, my nigga. Oh no,
Oh my god. Okay, so like, first of all, like, that's fucking gross. Like, that is so gross. Like, I've been up here condemning like my own racism in my past, and then there's like this sect of humans that actually looked at that, thought that it was okay, thought that it was funny, then request up on the live and then repeat the same racism in front of 7.4 thousand people. That is like so fucking gross. Like, you were just a gross human being. We're gonna go to move on to our next guest. Gross human being. Let's go in and see what our next guest here has to say. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got Jenna loading up into the live here, y'all. All right, what's going on, Jenna? Are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
All right, Jenna, why is that?
Before I start, I just want to say, like, I don't debate. This is not something I do. And I just kind of want to go into this with an open mindset and have a respectful conversation.
WU. Okay, let's hear it. Why are you voting for Trump?
So far, everything that I've seen about Kamala, I think that I can agree with some of her things, especially with women's rights. However, I don't trust a bone in her body. I think she does play a lot of political games. I've watched a lot of interviews as far as like Hurricane Helene and the citizens pretty much defending themselves and picking up like, okay, should I?
I can respond to that unless you have anything more to add on, but just to that specific point, there is no more dishonest politician than Donald Trump. If you care about like a morally virtuous character, if you care about an honest character, the last person you would ever vote for is Donald Trump. I don't even need to defend the position that Kamala Harris is honest here. We just need to point out how there's no one more dishonest than Donald Trump. I mean, this guy told the biggest lie that any sitting president has ever told with his denial of the outcome of the 2020 election. He convinced 70% of Republicans that it was stolen from him, actively undermining our civil and electoral processes. Donald Trump has also told over 30,000 confirmed lies during his presidency. Neil, thank you for the boxing gloves. He even had one of his advisors come out and say that he couldn't tell the difference between what was true and what was false. He just say whatever he wants to, even if it's fake. He doesn't care. If you want a candidate that's honest, at the bare minimum, you should be voting for Harris because she's more honest than Donald Trump.
All right, that's fair. I do feel like no matter what side, there are going to be lies. Definitely. I don't think there's any trustworthy person in politics, if I'm being honest. But
that's a fine claim, but just there's no one more dishonest than Trump.
I'm watching these interviews, and these people who are actually fighting, risking their life, saving people, they're saying that Kamala's pretty much doing a photo op in front of a helicopter full of supplies, but the people in the military are like, we're not getting any, like, they're not letting us go out there to save anyone.
Oh my God. She did the photo op because y'all made her.
But that
Kamala Harris was public enemy. Well, Jenna, Kamala Harris was public enemy number one on the right for like a week because Donald Trump went down the first day, did a photo op, draining resources from FEMA, draining resources from volunteers, and draining resources away from people actually trying to help to literally do a photo op, right? And then that pressured Kamala Harris into doing the same exact thing because if she didn't, she would have been politically fucking murdered. Like, you understand that if we want to talk about using like horrific natural occurrences such as hurricanes for personal gain, like Donald Trump has done exactly that this cycle, and he's been lying about the support offered by the federal government. Not to mention, when he was president, he gave less funding when the hurricane hit under him per person at $500, and he diverted hundreds of millions of dollars away from FEMA to build camps for migrants.
But I haven't seen a single thing where there's been, besides the money, where there's actually been volunteers going out to save these people, besides civilians spending their own money using their own helicopters. Like,
So I appreciate you for the $10. The National Guard was deployed. FEMA had thousands of volunteers. Hello?
Wasn't that like 4 days after? And volunteers.
Okay, so now this is now. So now you're lying, Jenna. Dude, come on, please. You just told me that you haven't seen any resources provided to individuals affected by the hurricane. I tell you the resource is provided, then you're like, well, that was provided, but it was provided 3 days later. Those are completely different claims.
There were people sitting for days from the government not being able to go in, especially like, for example, Elon Musk wanting to go give Starlink to these victims. And there were, as well as Elon wanting to give supplies to these victims, and there were government regulations, and that was the case for pretty much every government.
The $10 on Venmo. What are you? How does this relate to why you're voting for Trump over Harris? Also, you understand that Starlink is A, not free, and then B, like...
He was providing it free for them.
No, that's not how it works, because you have to have the Starlink router. Where are these victims that have been affected by the hurricane going to plug their Starlink router into?
So Elon had a plan where he was going to go there, have people give that to him. I mean, this is all stuff Elon said on his own.
He was going to plug the Starlink router into what? The outlet in their homes that were fucking destroyed?
I don't know the nitty gritty of how they were going to get Starlink or anything like that. I know that he was trying to provide them, but he was blocked. So I don't know the nitty gritty. And I'm also just listening to a lot of personal accounts from American citizens. Like, these are real struggles people are having, and it seems like all it is a game to her. Like, she's not, I don't know, I think she's just trying to do whatever she can to look best in the public.
Okay, I don't understand why you're politicizing like a natural disaster. Like, of course people are struggling after they got hit by a natural disaster. How does that reflect
let's talk about the wars
on Harris?
We can talk about the wars then.
Okay, well, I'm willing to discuss with you, right, any reason that you would like to bring up to justify voting for Trump over Harris. But I would like to make it clear that on the last topic, you did politicize a natural disaster, and you provided no reason on why that reflects negatively upon our current administration. But feel free to bring it up. Why are you voting for Trump? Let's go on to your next reason. Take it away.
Well, to answer your question, I'm saying that as an example because I don't think she's prioritizing the American people or actually gives a shit about people.
Okay.
That's kind of why I'm saying.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the prioritizing American people.
That's kind of what I was saying about the honesty as well, is like, I think she tries to make herself look good and says that she does, and so on. However, I think actions speak louder than words.
Okay, so the Biden-Harris administration, in action, right, passed 5 pieces of legislation that made the average American better off in comparison to rich people. Right, the PACT Act, the Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the American Rescue Plan. 5 monumental policies that reduced income inequities by benefiting the low and the middle class more so than rich people. Can you name one policy that Donald Trump passed that benefited the average American more so than rich people during his first term?
I am not very up to date on policies. Like I said, I'm just seeing, and sorry. Like, no I don't debate. I didn't.
No worries. And then on top of that, we'd also say that Kamala Harris has demonstrated her care for the American people through her policy, and Donald Trump has demonstrated a lack of a care for anyone but himself through his actions during his first term. He tried to stage a coup to overthrow our government to change and rig the outcome of the 2020 election with his fake electorate plot. He sent fake slates of electorates in 7 different states to cast fake votes into the Electoral College to be certified as real to steal the election from Joe Biden after he'd won via the voice and the vote of the people. Trying to silence the voice and the vote of the people is an obvious demonstration of a lack of a care for democracy, for the people in America, and for America itself. So if you care about a candidate being more centered around public service compared to self-service, you would never vote for Trump.
I kind of disagree with you there in terms of the policies. I mean, when he was president, I do notice there were a lot of things working in my favor, especially
Amaya,
not to bring up...
on PayPal. Thank you for the $5, Amaya.
Not to be a broken record, because I know a lot of people have come on this live and said that, but I just feel like life was better in terms of prices and priorities.
It was, but that doesn't reflect on the administration, because the Biden-Harris administration didn't cause things to be more expensive. COVID did. COVID caused inflation in every country around the world, including America, but we did have the quickest rebound from it out of any other country in the G7 because of the response from the Biden-Harris administration.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that the quality of life was better under Trump's? Did Trump cause the highest rate of unemployment since the Great Depression at 14.8% in April of 2020 because it happened under his term?
I believe he provided a lot more jobs to the American people, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not an answer to my question. Under his term, we had the highest rate of unemployment since the Great Depression. Did he cause it?
No.
Okay, but it happened under his term, so what that demonstrates to us is just because something happens in the country, it doesn't mean that the president caused it. Can you demonstrate to me how Trump caused lower prices or how Biden and Harris caused higher ones?
No, but I can talk about other things like how illegal immigrants quadrupled in numbers coming over.
Yep. We did have many more undocumented entries into our country, right? That is because of Title 42. When Title 42 expired, which was the shutdown of the southern border onset by COVID, right? It was very natural, normal, and expected for us to have an influx of people coming into our country. The way that we should evaluate the responsibility of the Biden-Harris administration is through how they acted to resolve the crisis. And they acted to resolve the crisis by influencing bipartisan border legislation in the House and the Senate 2 years ago. Donald Trump actively thwarted that bill and torpedoed it because he wanted the crisis to continue. This is yet another demonstration of the lack of care from Trump towards the American people.
If you could you send me all this stuff after, if you have time?
What I can do is I could give you keywords and things to look up on the internet.
Okay.
You could look up Lankford's border bill, and you could look up Trump torpedoing Lankford's border bill. Lankford is spelled Langford.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you wanted to go over here today?
Probably, but it's okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up, Jenna, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day. We're going to move on to our next guest here, y'all. Let's go and get our next guest up in the box right now. Let me know if you're MAGA in the chat for the 7.3 thousand people hanging out with us in here today. Make sure that we are double tapping on that phone screen. And if you want to support me, my Venmo and my PayPal, they're in my bio. And I appreciate everyone so much for your love. What is going on, man? You said fuck Kamala Harris in the chat. I'd love to chat with you. Talk to me, man. Why are you voting for Trump? Oh, you're too scared? You're too scared to have an actual conversation?
No. No one's scared. Kamala sucks.
We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next guest. We're gonna go ahead and move on. That was a fetus. That was a fetus. Hello, Ben. Are you voting for Trump?
Absolutely not. Fuck Kamala Harris. I mean, wait. Fuck Trump. Sorry.
Hey, there you go. There we go, Ben. You almost said it wrong. We're gonna go to move on to our next guest. Let's go and get Holly up in the live. Let's go ahead and see what Holly has to say. By the way, guys, make sure that we're double tapping. Let's get up to 1 million likes here. What's up, Holly? Are you voting for Trump?
Hi. I actually am in the UK, and this sounds weird, but it's kind of
Holly, I appreciate you so much for coming up. I am just looking to debate people who are voting for Trump, but I'd love for you to join my Discord. We'd love to have you in the community over there. Megan, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. W's for Megan in the chat. What's up, Carrie? Are you voting for Trump?
Can you hear me?
I sure can, sir.
Sweet. All right. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not. I just wanted to say I love you, dude. I think you are the absolute shit, and I appreciate what you're doing. And I wanted to give you a break from all these freaking yokels that are just calling in here, just talking about absolutely nothing, and you're just laying them down one at a time. And this is better than watching the sports and all that other stuff today. So, I just want to say this real quick, as a black man.
Carrie. Oh, Carrie, hop back in the queue. Carrie and Holly, hop back in the queue. Carrie and Holly, hop back in the queue. Let's hear it from. I felt the need to kick Carrie because I had just kicked Holly, but now I want to hear from them both. I felt the need to kick Carrie because just before I kicked Carrie, I kicked Holly. Let's hear it. Carrie and Holly, both of you guys hop back in the queue. Gary and Holly. Also, Carrie, I just want to say thank you so much. You know what? Let's just get W Carries and W Hollies in the chat while we're working to get both of them back up in here. Carrie and Holly, come back. Once again, Carrie, the only reason I removed you right there was because prior to you coming up, I just kicked Holly. I wanted to be impartial. And I also didn't want to immediately kick the woman and then let the man stay up. You know what I mean? So there's just a call to be impartial, and I would love for both of you to come back. So if I see there's Holly. Now we need to get Holly, what's going on? Talk to me while I'm getting Carrie up in here.
Hi. So basically, like I was saying, it's kind of off your debate, but over here there is a huge question about what Project 2025 is, and I thought you were the person basically to kind of give me the basics on that,
thank you, Holly.
I have hundreds of friends in the US. And
thank you. Holly, I'll happily go over that. Welcome back in, Gary. We heard from Holly. I'll go over Project 2025. Gary, take it away, man. I'm sorry for removing you. Welcome back. The mic is yours.
Absolutely cool, dude. I just wanted to say that, we support you, man, 112%. And also, a lot of these cats are forgetting the fact that Donald Trump inherited, the economy of Obama. Nobody's saying anything about any of that stuff, so they're constantly blaming. Anyway, you can articulate this better than I can possibly do it. And I'm a grown ass man, but I'm just sitting here watching you slay these folks too. Absolutely amazing. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a break from the crazy folks, man, and just talk to somebody who is somewhat sane. Well, some of these folks are saying, well, no, they're not.
Gary, you're awesome, man. I appreciate you for coming up, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
You do the same, my friend. Peace.
Peace, dude. W's for Carrie, W's for Holly. To Holly's question about what Project 2025 is, think of Project 2025 like the alt-right manifesto of the proposed policy that they want to see change in America, and think of Donald Trump's relation to Project 2025 as blatant, apparent, and obvious. Donald Trump tweeted out in 2018 that they had completed 62% of his proposed policies for his next term. He has had some of his advisors working on it. And then he said that he knew nothing about it, but he disagreed with some of it, actively contradicting himself. And then, Carrie, just thanks for coming up. You put a smile on my face. You're great. What is up, GJ? Are you voting for James? Are you voting for Trump?
Oh, yes, I am.
All right. Why so?
Well, mainly to do with his economic plan. I think it is a far better plan than Kamala Harris's. I'm not going to say that hers is necessarily bad or
I disagree.
Necessarily bad, but the thing is that I want to say real quick is I think that both ways are a way forward.
Have you already been on here?
No, I've been on Parker's.
Okay. Well, I disagree. Should we make the average American better off or worse off?
We should make them better off.
That's why her plan is better. So her plan is going to make the average American worse off. Donald Trump's plan is going to make the average American Her plan is going to make the average American better off. His plan is going to make the average American worse off.
And how would his plan make the average American worse off?
Because his tax cuts disproportionately benefit rich people, and his proposed tariffs will regressively impact the low and the middle class more so than rich people by causing inflation.
Well, by disproportionately impacting, like you said.
Cammy, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Massive W's for Cammy in the chat. Thank you for the $10.
By disproportionately impacting, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be worse for the middle or low class.
Okay, well, you took one of the two things I said. I said two things.
And I have to say them both at one time, so.
Right.
And
the predominant reason why it will make the average American worse off is because of his tariffs.
Yeah, his tariff plan is good.
No, his tariff plan is bad. So tariffs cause inflation. Inflation regressively serves as a detriment to members of the low and the middle class more so than rich people.
Yeah, so do you know how much inflation his tariffs would cause?
No, I think that there's some studies out there, but overwhelmingly, that's a high inflationary pressure that we don't see present within Kamala Harris's proposed policy. And when we compare the inflationary pressures, there's more inflationary pressures under Trump's plan, right? And then her policy is just more focused on the average American.
I would argue that there's actually more inflationary pressure in her plan, just because raising the corporate tax rate is something that would affect the average person far more than a tariff would affect the average person.
So then why did we have lower prices under Obama than we did under Trump with a significantly higher corporate tax rate?
And then why did we have with Trump with a lower corporate tax rate significantly less than under Biden? You can go back and forth. There's obviously going to be a natural inflation.
Well, I could literally answer your question because of COVID, right? Because COVID caused higher levels of inflation, and we're still under Trump's 21% corporate tax rate. Answer my question of increasing the corporate tax rate causes inflation. Why did we have lower prices under Obama than Trump?
Because when we had Obama in office, that's just the way it works. When you raise the minimum wage constantly, when things like that happen, inflation goes bow. So that's just obviously going to happen.
You're not answering my question.
No, that literally quite is an answer to your question.
No, I asked you why we had lower prices under Obama compared to Trump, and we had a higher corporate tax rate under Obama.
And I answered your question by saying when the minimum wage goes up, inflation goes up too. That's just a simple economic principle. That's an answer to your question.
How does that answer that there was lower prices under Obama compared to Trump?
When everyone has more money, companies are going to charge more. That's just how it works. That's how it works.
Okay. Well, I don't really think he's given an answer, because I was talking about the level of inflation relative to the corporate tax rate, and then you brought in minimum wage. Then also here, I just want to point out that historically speaking, we've had high levels of corporate tax rates with lower levels of inflation. We wouldn't see a significant increase in inflation caused by an increase in the corporate tax rate.
Real quick about that. So historically speaking, when are you talking about? Just in general in history, or
60s,
what?
70s, and 80s, we had some of the lowest unemployment rates in history compared with lower rates of inflation.
Also because
35 through 45% corporate tax rates.
Well, do you know? Do you know about the gold standard and that stuff like that?
No.
So that was basically what that was we used to keep our money, the amount of money that we would have was only the amount of gold we would have. And when that was a thing, we just didn't have any inflation at all.
Okay, so we had higher corporate tax rates with lower levels of inflation.
That is not what I just said whatsoever, because we wouldn't print more money than we were.
So what reason do you have to believe that a 7% increase in the corporate tax rate will cause a significant amount of inflation?
Yeah, so we actually the reason for that is because we purchase way more corporate goods as a consumer than we would imported goods.
Bro, the non-answers are fucking crazy.
No, that's literally an answer. I don't know. You maybe ask a better question.
Dude, I'm asking you how increasing the corporate tax rate by 7% will significantly cause inflation, and then you said because consumers are more reliant on goods created by corporations here in America compared to corporations outside of America. That doesn't answer my question. We do not see historical trends of higher rates of inflation being onset via higher corporate tax rates. And we have no reason to believe that a 7% increase in the corporate tax rate will significantly increase inflation. Then overwhelmingly stating that a $2.8 trillion tax relief bill will cause more inflation than a $5 trillion tax relief bill is idiocracy at its best. And also the gold standard ended in 71, and we had high rates of corporate tax and lower levels of inflation after 71.
Well, there was no inflation when the gold standard was a thing. That's just not how it works. You can't have inflation when you're only printing money.
Even after we didn't have the gold standard in the 70s, we still had higher rates of corporate tax with lower levels of inflation.
Yes, because like right after we got rid of the gold standard, we weren't just instantly printing a lot of money. Inflation works when you're printing more money than you know what I mean.
The point is we don't see historical trends of associations with higher corporate tax rates and higher levels of inflation.
Okay, so to continue though, so why do you think that the tariffs are necessarily a bad thing when they generate a lot? They will generate a lot more American infrastructure and manufacturing than they would when you just don't have the tariffs at all.
Because I think that we should have a focus on American manufacturing. I think that that's a good focus to have. But I think that there's means to achieve that outside of inflationary pressures such as tariffs. And I think that both Trump and Biden and Harris proved this within their respective terms. Trump proved this with his $28 billion bailout bill for the American farmers. He invested billions of dollars into American farmers to spur their manufacturing. That is something you probably think was good under his administration. Then Biden and Harris with things such as the Chips and Science Act. Instead of having these government regulations on the free market that regressively impact the average American the most by causing inflation and destroying American-owned businesses, we should rather have this shifted focus to American infrastructure and manufacturing given investment.
Yeah, I just don't think that there's a way that it would destroy American businesses. I think increasing production from them would actually help generate more money and generate more jobs for the Americans.
So
and I understand that
you're not tracking. First of all,
that's exactly what I've been saying the whole time.
We do know that tariffs harm American businesses. Every single time we've increased tariffs on China, we have had a reduction in U.S. agricultural exports, and that bankrupted American farmers in 2018, sparking Trump to bail them out in 19.
But with that being said, then why would Biden not remove his tariffs that he had when he put them in place?
He changed them. And I disagree with the tariffs that he kept on China. I think that those were bad. I disagree with Biden. Right, boo, bad tariffs, but that doesn't change the fact that they regressively impact American consumers and American businesses. And the reason I say that you're not tracking is because I told you I also like the idea of increasing American manufacturing, but we could do that through investment in the market, not by like market regulations.
Yeah, so investment in the market, exactly what do you mean by that? Just putting more money into specific groups and letting them like build? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and Ellie, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the $10, Ellie.
How do we necessarily pay for that?
Well, sure. For instance, Carrie, thank you for the $30 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. W's for Carrie in the chat. I appreciate you for the $30 on Venmo.
Wait, you're going to pay for it with Carrie's $30 on Venmo?
No, I was thanking Carrie for her donation. W's for Carrie in the chat.
I'm just joking around. Don't worry.
So I mean, like, there's a multiplicity of ways that we could pay for this. Like, one of them would just be like the increase in corporate tax rate, unrealized capital gains tax on centimillionaires, etc. But I mean, like, if you want to have a conversation on how we're going to pay for these things, how is Trump going to pay for the $5 trillion associated with another 10 years of the TCGA?
Yeah, with the tariffs.
Okay, so tariffs are not going to generate $5 trillion over the next 10 years, right?
Well, do you know how much is imported every year through tariffs? Or how much?
Yes, and right now
how many goods are imported every year?
Right now they only generate, what is it, like a little over $100 billion in government revenue per year. When we tariff other countries, they import less, meaning that we're making less through the tariffs. But overwhelmingly, you want to be able to find like any study that would demonstrate a 10 to 20% flat tariff on all goods imported into a country would pay $5 trillion in 10 years. But even if that was true, you're basically saying that you want to regressively affect like the low and the middle class the most to pay for a tax bill that progressively benefits the high class the most.
So I also do want to mention this real quick because I do.
Charles, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Massive W's for Charles in the chat. Thank you for the $20. W's for Charles.
I do want to mention this real quick because I do feel like it is on topic still. So it's kind of going back a little bit, but sorry, I forgot to mention this. With the corporate tax rate being lowered under Trump, there is evidence of this working and helping people throughout an entire economy. If you look at the highest per capita GDP economies in the world right now, you'll have like Luxembourg, you'll have like Singapore, things like this. These people are living a higher quality of life. They have more money on average than an American would, and they actually boast the lowest corporate tax rates amongst other countries.
Wait. So if you want to make a comparison between between America and other countries around the world that have higher qualities of life, higher levels of economic mobility, why don't we go to look at Nordic countries that have like a social democracy model? They have the highest levels of economic mobility, meaning it's easier for people to generate more wealth in a more timely fashion. They have some of the highest qualities of life, some of the highest economic freedoms, and that's a fact. Do you like their economic models?
Which countries are you referring to?
Norway, Sweden, Finland.
Yeah, so I would have to get more in tune with exactly what their economic plans are to make an opinion on it. But
we're just talking about the outcomes. Wait, but we're just talking about the outcome of the model, because that's exactly what you just did with the outcome of the model in Singapore.
Saying that there is evidence that a lower corporate tax rate works.
Yeah, so you're saying that there's like certain things such as like higher qualities of life in countries with lower corporate tax rates. By the way, the corporate tax rates in those countries are still right around that 24%, so higher than what we have now. Yes, in Nordic countries. Hey, James.
Okay, so not to do with any
Nordic countries, that is true, and we see higher qualities of life in Nordic countries. We see higher levels of economic mobility. We see freer markets, and guess what their model is? A social democracy. Who's closer to that model? The left. It's a left-leaning economic model with higher qualities of life. It's a left-leaning economic model with more economic mobility. It's a left-leaning economic model where it allows people to generate more wealth quicker. So we do understand that if you want to make a comparison between America and other countries around the world that are doing better economically speaking, well, then we should probably accept and adopt that we have other countries around the world with more left-leaning economic models, and then concede that thereby we in our country should support more left-leaning economic models, right?
So the problem with what you just said was, yes, that could be true. Yes, the left-leaning models could be better. But what we're looking at is that what they are doing does not align with what the left in our country is pushing whatsoever.
But who's closer? Who's closer to it?
The Republicans.
No, you're lying. I would no.
So
I do. No, you are now changing what I said.
No, you said around.
Okay, I'll let you go ahead and spiral.
Everyone heard you say it. Everyone heard you say it.
Go ahead and spiral.
So it's not something that I just lied about. It's something that actually you lied about.
You said look up the corporate tax rate in Luxembourg. What countries were I referencing?
You're referencing something. I don't know. It has nothing to do with the countries I mentioned. So maybe
I said in Nordic. What is a Nordic country?
So maybe before that you pivoted to some other countries.
Hey James, what is a Nordic country?
Like, I don't know, like Norway, Sweden, Finland.
So when I say that we have corporate tax rates around 24% in Nordic countries, and then you say, chat, he's lying, look up the corporate tax rate in non-Nordic countries, you sound a little bit goofy.
So when I say Luxembourg, Singapore, and these countries, then you bring up an entirely different region. That's just a big old pivot. So
no, it's not a pivot.
Stay on topic,
and the reason it's not a pivot,
anything that I was referring to whatsoever.
So James, the reason it's not a pivot is because you decided to relate the average corporate tax rates in other countries such as Singapore.
And not other
James,
countries.
do you mind if I finish?
Let me clarify what I was saying. The highest per capita GDP countries, which is people that are directly living higher qualities of life than us. So by naming Norway and all these other random Nordic countries, you are actually not naming countries that are doing better than us.
Yes. Nordic countries are absolutely doing better than us. They rank higher on peace indexes. They rank higher on happiness indexes. They rank higher on economic mobility indexes. They are all things considered.
If we're going to argue about happiness indexes,
James, with all due respect, James, with all due respect, I am going to mute you. James, with all due respect, I'm going to mute you if you interrupt me. Is that fair?
Yes, that is fair, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
No, I don't understand what you're saying because I'm not listening to you because you're interrupting me. Thank you. Now sit and listen while I finish speaking, or I'm going to have to place you on mute. I don't want to treat this live like a daycare center. Okay? I don't want to have to feel like
Jonathan,
I'm your
thank you for the $20
babysitter.
on Venmo, by the way. Oh, sorry. I just want to make sure that I got my gift out the way.
So now James is crashing out because people are donating to me, and he's losing a debate. We will now go put him on mute. Rachel, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. So first of all, I will go to explain to you how no, that was not a pivot, and you just threw that word out because you don't know what to say because you're losing. Okay? So you related other countries with higher GDP per capitas with like lower corporate tax rates. So first of all, you would have to demonstrate how the lower corporate tax rates cause the higher GDP per capita. Because if we can make a correlation causation fallacy between the respective policy that exists in an area and the outcomes in the area, well, I could say that Republicans want more kids to die because we see more gun related deaths in Republican states compared to Democrat states per 100,000 residents. And guns are the leading cause of death in children. Okay? I could say that Donald Trump caused the highest rate of unemployment that we've had since the Great Depression at 14.8% in April of 2020, just because it happened while he was our president. So what I did is I then stepped in and related our country to Nordic countries that seemingly have economic models that produce better outcomes than our economic model, right? And given this comparison, it would entail that left-leaning economic models are better than what we currently have. And you would necessarily have to make this concession given your own logic by comparing this to countries such as Singapore.
Yeah, so I would not have to make that concession whatsoever because it's not a causation fallacy or whatever that's you said. Because if it's something directly relating to economics and it's something that they do that has helped them boast a higher per capita GDP than us, then that is not a causation. That is directly causing it.
Okay, so would you be able to demonstrate that to me with a study?
All right. Well, I can get in my.
For the 6.7 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen. W. Dean from a Swede. Let's go, dude. This guy's just saying shit. That's kind of what they do. That's kind of what they do. Norway has a higher GDP per capita. Can someone fact check that for me? Yo, someone needs to fact check that shit for me. Because that'd be great. That'd just be beautiful. We're going to go and get another guest up in here while he's going on Google. So everyone just do give us a minute. Chris, I appreciate you so much for the $20 on Venmo. That is so incredibly kind. Thank you so much, Chris. Let's get some massive W's for Chris down below in the chat. I really appreciate you for that. Massive W's for Chris with the $20. Thank you. What is up, Tarzan? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah. Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Oh, he came back on the app and left.
Wait, what?
So Tarzan, why are you voting for Trump?
I lived in Hawaii, and it was just the way they handled everything in Maui.
You are so far across from your phone.
Hello.
And now James is saying I disconnected him in the chat. What a way to run.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. So why are you voting for Trump?
Because I lived in Maui. I live in Hawaii, and the way they handled everything that went down in Maui, it really saddened me because the people there didn't get the help that they needed after the fires taking place.
Okay. Yeah. So what was the inappropriate response from the Biden-Harris administration that granted a lack of help to the state of Hawaii?
People lost their homes. My friends.
No, I'm asking you about the response from Biden and Harris.
Oh, they gave $700 to everyone.
Oh, yeah. So that's just the most that they could give under federal law in accordance with the Stafford Act. We need to advocate for congressional policy and change. And that is typically something that we'd see Republicans standing against. Like, for instance, when the hurricane hit under Trump's admin, he decided not even to max out that cap of $750 and instead give each victim $500.
I would have loved to see them change something after that happened so that we could get more money and they could help. But nothing happened, and it just kind of went under the radar.
Yeah, but this is an issue that is predominantly projected from the right, not the left.
I don't know that. I'm projecting it from my own personal experience.
Republicans voted against congressional policy to institute higher caps under the Stafford Act. Trump met lower minimums with paying out victims of the hurricane that hit under his administration compared to Biden and Harris. These are the objective facts, man.
Okay, well, there's more than just that reason. I mean, that happened. That definitely made me have it didn't do well.
Are you in the bath?
I'm giving my one of my babies a bath right now. I'm a father.
No worries, man. Darlene, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Darlene. I appreciate you so much for the love. Thank you, Darlene. Massive W, Darlene, in the chat. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, would you ever vote for someone that's been held civilly liable for raping a woman?
I've thought about how that is and how he was held civilly liable, and it's proven that he was guilty for what he did. And didn't he pay out that woman like how many millions did she get?
$87 million.
$87 million. $87 million. That's a lot of money. I've definitely gone through experiences myself where people have taken advantage of me and the power that they had, and I didn't get $87 million, and I would have loved to see them convicted. So I'm glad that happened. But at the end of the day, when I look at how Trump ran the country and how things were when he was in office, that fucking sucks that he did that, because I don't accept that. But I think someone else was in here. Her name was Maddie, and she was just explaining that all these motherfuckers in office are fucking criminals at the end of the day.
Okay, so what civil court held Harris liable for grip?
Was who? Yeah, he was.
Okay, well, first of all, Harris is not a he.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I thought you said
and what civil court held her liable for grip?
Say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, what civil court held Harris liable for grip?
Did civil court hold Harris liable?
No, that's the point, because you're making the argument that like, oh yeah, like you believe and affirm the fact that Trump's a rapist, but Harris probably is too. So
well, I don't know what, like, I haven't read what happened or whether. I just know that the system in place has held him liable.
So would you vote for someone? So would you vote for someone held civilly liable for grip? Yes or no?
I wouldn't want to, but when I compare the two, I'm not looking at him as a rapist. I'm looking at how is he going to run the country.
Okay, so like,
and I'm looking at Harris as well and how she's going to run the country, and she's currently in power. She's currently the vice president. So when I hear her talk about her wanting to do these things, it's like, do them now. The other thing as well is like,
I'm going to respond to that. Like, her economic policy, she literally can't do it now. Congress replaces our tax policy every 10 years. The next time they're going to get together to do that is next year. And then also, like, she's a VP. She operates under like Biden's policy, not her own.
That's what I've heard a lot. It's like she has no power. It's like, okay, then what's the point of
it's not even about the power. It's just about like she follows the orders from the president. Like, you understand that, right?
Yeah, I understand she takes orders.
If she's going to be operating to influence policy through Congress as VP, sure, like she did. She influenced some great policy, more monumental policy than Trump did as president during his 4 years, right? But she's going to be like running under what Biden wants to do, not what she wants to do.
Okay, well, like I was going to be saying before, is while the Biden administration has been in office, I haven't seen a profound, like my life hasn't gotten any better.
Oh, okay. So your life was better under Trump than it was under Biden and Harris. So yeah, did Trump cause the highest rate of unemployment that we've had in our country since the Great Depression in April of 2020 at 14.8%? Can we blame that on him?
Say that again, sorry.
Did Trump cause the highest rate of unemployment that we've had in our country since the Great Depression because it happened under his presidency?
Yes, he did then.
Okay, so anything that happens under did he cause COVID?
Well, he caused it to be as bad as it is.
Did Biden and Harris cause 15 million jobs to be added back to the economy?
If they did, then yes. I mean, my mom lost her job and countless others. So whenever they say that, I'm like, okay, I'm not experiencing that, and my friends and family.
Okay, this is just like a low IQ.
I have to go based off my own experiences, don't I?
But no, you don't. No, we'd actually never do that.
I'm experiencing things. I have to go based off what I see. What is real to me.
Boo,
I'm not
terrible.
Go based off of what people are saying online.
That is fucking so bad. That is such a terrible idea.
No, that isn't bad. Everybody should live this way.
Hey, Tarzan.
Should see things in their life.
Hey Tarzan, I have a question. So the first time you drove a car, how did you know that when you hit the brake pedal that the car would stop?
Because I hit the brake pedal and the car stopped.
No, but how did you know that was going to happen before you ever hit the brake pedal?
Well, I had to trust someone else, and then once I confirmed that it was true.
Oh, wait. So you trusted someone else so much that you literally put your life on the line?
No, I didn't put my life on the line.
You just brake
test. You just brake test a little bit.
Wait, what shape is the Earth?
Round.
Round? How do you know the Earth is round, sir?
Oh, do you think it's flat?
No, I know it's round, but how do you know it's round?
Well, I look at planets up in the sky and they're all round, so why would we be flat?
Wait, what planets have you looked at that are round?
The ones that are in our solar system. The ones
like which one?
I've looked at, what is it, Mars? I've seen Mars under a telescope.
So when did you first see Mars under a telescope?
I was on I grew up in Maryland, so I went on a field trip and we got to use.
How old were you?
I think this was middle school. I don't know how old I was.
So before you saw Mars through the telescope, did you think that the Earth was flat or round?
I never really had any questions about it.
Okay, so you didn't know if the Earth was round before you saw another planet through a telescope?
No, well, basically, other people told me, hey, it was round, so I never questioned it. But once I saw like other planets and I was like, oh, okay.
Listen. My overwhelming point.
I only believe things I see with my own eyes because things can be fake. Look at.
Have you ever seen me in person?
No, I've never seen you in person.
Do you believe that I'm a real person?
I don't believe anything's real until I see them.
So wait, are you? So it is possible that I'm AI generated. Do you believe that
possible.
I'm not AI generated?
It is possible. Do you agree that it could be possible that you're AI generated? It could be possible that I'm not even real. You're talking.
Yeah. So do you think that I'm real?
I would hope you're real.
No. Do you know that I'm real?
I don't know that you're real.
See what I mean? That's like the pipeline here. That's what I was trying to achieve. Like the view that you can't trust anything apart from
you really can't. Look at what P. Diddy did.
Do you mind if I finish?
Okay.
What the fuck does P. Diddy have to do with it?
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, when you see people online, celebrities, anything you see online.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish what I was saying. That was
okay. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying. Please don't tell me to shut up. By the way.
I'm sorry. Listen, that was the eventual concession that I was kind of looking for there. Like, if you only trust your own senses, like you live in a very like idiotic worldview. Like we need to have trust, right, in like institutions that can come to like rational and objective conclusions, given like objective, non-biased forms of research, and like that's important to point out. You know, it's just an incredibly like closed mind, low IQ perspective to say that you only trust things that you personally observe. Like I've never personally observed Australia. Like you'd have to say, in accordance with my perceptions of the world around me, that I cannot have true knowledge that Australia is real and exists, right? And that's obviously like insane.
It sounds insane, but the world's pretty insane. That's the reason I live this way. It's because I'm only going to trust things that I see in person.
Well, have you ever seen Trump in person?
Yeah, I have seen Trump in person. He was actually just here. I'm out in Colorado currently.
Were you at the Gaylord yesterday?
No, I didn't go.
So when did you see Trump in person?
I saw him in person while I was visiting my family.
You got an echo. We're just gonna move on to our next guest. I'm sorry, that was just so disingenuous. That was just like so fucking disingenuous, man. Hey, are you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Trump is just more real. He's more realistic. His policies are better.
Okay, what policies?
His border policy.
Like what border policy?
Building the wall right now, even though he didn't get how he wanted to do it in his first term.
So building the wall. He built less than 4% in 4 years. How is he going to build 96% in another 4 years?
Because if you think about it, he has one more term left. So he's going to do everything that he has to do before he's voted out. So he's not going to bother with politics or trying to get reelected. He's going to do everything that he has to do.
So he's going to build the wall. And why is building the wall a good idea?
It keeps people out. Simple as that. By making it harder for them to come into the country.
Okay, and that's why you're voting for Trump?
Mainly, and also...
Okay, so Trump is actually pro-open borders.
Well, he doesn't relay that when he's...
He does. He torpedoed a bipartisan border bill in the House and the Senate 2 years ago, yeah.
Because Biden waited until it was an election year to do it.
No, that began getting drafted by Langford in early 2022. 2022 was not an election year.
And why did they started to get publicized when it was an election year?
They didn't. That's just when you figured out about it.
That's when I started talking about it because they
it began getting drafted in early 2022 and it was on the House floor and the Senate in 2023.
Also, Kamala, she's all over the place with her policies. First, she wants to ban fracking, then she doesn't. She's a loose cannon.
Okay, so no, she's not all over the place with her policies. Is Donald Trump all over the place with his because he used to be a pro-choice Democrat?
That's not true. I've never seen that before personally.
Okay, it is true. There's interviews from the 90s where he talked about how he's pro-choice.
At what point like what year?
93, 94, 95, 96?
I wasn't even born then, so I can't really relate to that, you know? I'm talking about what I see now between Trump.
Okay,
Trump.
JD Vance said that Trump was America's Hitler in 2019, the same year that she said that she was against fracking. Is JD Vance a loose cannon?
I don't like JD Vance. I'm not voting for JD Vance. I'm voting for Trump.
Avery, I appreciate you for the $7 on Vim. I appreciate you for the love. Is he a loose cannon?
I wouldn't say he is, but I'm not voting for JD Vance. I'm voting for Donald Trump.
You're saying that he's not a loose cannon, even though he held one view 5 years ago and doesn't hold it today. But yet Kamala Harris is.
Because she's running for president. He's not running for president. He's running for vice president. I'm voting for Trump.
So you're saying that she's a loose cannon not only because she held different views 5 years ago than she does today, but also because she's running for president. That's just like a special plea.
No, I'm saying because she changed her views while running for president. JD Vance isn't running for president.
Oh, no. How do we know that she changed her views while running for president? I mean, like, for instance, the Inflation Reduction Act that she influenced to get passed long before she started running for president included additional funding for fracking.
And then she changed her views because she first wanted to ban it, then she wanted to increase it, then she wanted to ban it again.
No. And what happened is that she had her own views moderated by Congress. Like, you either sink and swim as a leader, especially a leader of nearly 600 people in Congress. Nearly 500 people in Congress. And she chose to swim. And what kind of came along with that was meeting in the middle of the aisle, moderating your own views to get Congress as a whole to be more productive, right? And she didn't change her values; she just changed her beliefs. And she is for Trump. She is for fracking today, right? She says she doesn't want to ban it. Biden and Harris never ban it under their administration. And, we see this with Trump as well, such as his view on IVF. He used to be anti-IVF. Now he wants state and federal programs to fund IVF treatment. He used to be a pro-choice Democrat. Now he's who he is today. We could say the same thing for JD Vance. He used to think that Trump was America's Hitler. Now he doesn't. Ultimately, I just think that this is such a inconsequential detail that we really shouldn't care about. And it's just crazy that you're going to be like, Kamala Harris is a loose cannon because she held a different view 5 years ago than she does today. But Donald Trump's not a loose cannon, even though he's sexualized little girls, raped women, committed felonies, and tried to overthrow an election.
Okay, so under Trump, right? This country was better off. We can all admit that. So
we're pivoting.
Hold on, wait. So him allegedly raping someone or whatever, I'm not voting for that. I'm voting for a better country.
Wait, 1 second. It's not allegedly. Say it with your chest. It was proven in court.
Proven in court by who?
Proven in court by a jury.
And we know about politics in courts all the time. He was prosecuted because he was running for president. They're scared of what he's he's going to make, yes.
Okay, really? So you think that the whole court was a sham? He didn't actually do it. It was lawfare. Answer me 2 questions. What was his victim's name, and what was one piece of evidence she submitted to the court to prove Trump guilty?
E.G. and Carroll, and she put a picture of when they were together after he said that they weren't.
Okay, so you seemingly have a little bit of information on this court case. Go ahead and convince me and the other 6.7 thousand people watching the live that the idea that it was lawfare and it didn't actually happen, and his political bullshit is not a conspiracy theory.
All right, think about it. You're a powerful man, right? You have a female working for you. She knows your past. Trump is not clean. We all know that.
Women working for you.
Woman. She works for him. She knows his past. When you're working close with a man like that, there's a chance that that's gonna happen to you. And I feel like she took the risk. She accepted the risk when she started working for Trump. No, I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying.
What the fuck?
I'm not saying it's her fault.
Dude, hello? Okay, listen, I've been on... Shut, be quiet. I've been on a 5-day sabbatical, and I forgot about this shit. And Chad, I'm not gonna lie, I literally forgot that people like you exist that believe in such morally perverted, decrepit, false claims. So you understand that there is literally no difference between what you just said and someone saying that, oh, well, she wore the mini skirt and the tank top to the bar. sure, she got raped, but, you know, it was kind of her fault.
I didn't mean like that. I didn't mean it in that context.
No. There's absolutely no difference between what I just said and what you just said. It is textbook victim blaming.
I don't victim blame. I'm just saying, right?
You just said it was her fault that she got raped.
For example, if I go work for someone who I know is an offender, am I not accepting that risk?
In fact, you're not. But not only did she not know anything about Donald Trump or his past, we have no reason to believe that she did, because this did happen in the 90s. She also didn't work for him. But like, given that like everything you said was true, no, she wouldn't be accepting that risk at all. Fuck. Hello?
I want to talk about policy.
Wait, no. So I'm so sorry. So if a college woman wears the mini skirt and the crop top to the bar, is she accepting the risk of getting drugged and raped by a man there?
No, when you get drugged, that's different. That's different.
But no, she went to the bar in the mini skirt and the crop top. She accepted the risk.
Drugged is different. Don't even try to like.
So what's the difference? What's the difference?
When you get drugged, you don't think that's a big difference?
No, but she accepted the risk of getting drugged with a mini skirt and the crop top, right?
No, that's different. Now you're
so how's it different?
Because E. Carroll, she probably seen other women that got inappropriately touched by Trump, right?
The college woman with the crop top and the mini skirt had probably heard stories of other women getting drugged and raped at a bar.
Wasn't her husband a Democrat sending her this pie on Trump? Anyways, I heard that somewhere too.
What the fuck are you saying? Listen, you're what all that I'm saying is that this is just like textbook victim blaming. Like, you should feel ashamed of yourself.
I want to talk about policies. I don't want to talk about.
So you want to talk? You want to get away from the fact that like you were just actively victim blaming.
I wasn't victim blaming, but if you want to stay on topic, I'll stay on topic.
Wait, you said that like E. Carroll probably saw him inappropriately touching women. So you're conceding that Donald Trump has inappropriately touched women? I
mean, that's pretty obvious, is it not?
Oh, so you're just obviously voting for a self-acclaimed like sexual assault abuser, womanizer, rapist.
I'm voting for a better country. I might not agree with Trump personally on every level.
If Donald Trump had raped a kid, would you still vote for him?
Repeat that.
If Donald Trump had raped a kid, would you still vote for him?
No.
But if he raped an adult woman, you would. Why? And Brian, thank you for the $20. I appreciate you so much for the love, Brian. Let's get some massive W's for Brian in the chat. Thank you for the $20, Brian. It means the world to me. Go ahead.
There's a difference there, Dad.
And what is that difference?
In that position, like
what's the difference?
At what point did Trump get to rape E. Carroll? Like, where were they?
That's not an answer. I'll repeat my question just so you know exactly what I'm asking you. You said you would vote for Trump if he raped an adult woman, but you wouldn't vote for Trump if he raped a little girl. What's the difference there?
The age differences.
Oh, okay. So is raping an adult woman not bad enough, but raping a little girl is?
I don't agree with raping a grown woman, but I'm just saying that's not a deal breaker. Like, oh my gosh,
so that's not bad enough, right?
No,
but raping a little girl is bad enough.
Yes.
Okay, so why is raping an adult woman not bad enough?
Because she knows the risk that she's like. Trump is not a clean. Like, we know Trump is not a clean person. Like, if I go work for someone who I know partakes in that kind of activities, I'm putting myself up to that risk. Like, if I go work for a murderer.
Oh my God. So your argument is victim blaming, right?
Your chat's agreeing with me right now, so.
No, they're actually not. So can you just admit here that your argument is victim blaming?
I don't think it is, but if you think it is, then.
Can you tell me what victim blaming is? Also, Jaina, thank you for the $30 on PayPal. Let's get some W's for Jaina. That is Jana in the chat. Thank you for the $30. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. So go ahead and tell me what victim blaming is.
Blaming the victims for what happened to them, but I'm not doing that, right? I'm not.
So I just want to clarify, when you say that Trump raping an adult woman like E. Carroll isn't bad enough is because she knew the risks of getting raped, you are in part blaming E. Carroll for what happened to her. Because, as you self-described, she knew the risks.
I want to talk about policies that's going to be put in effect.
So concede to the victim blaming.
Maybe it's a subconscious level. Maybe it's not on purpose. Maybe
it seems very purposeful. You are literally articulating it as your argument.
Let's talk about policies. You don't want to talk about policies because if you go to that segment, I'm gonna beat you. So okay.
The whole chat knows that that's wrong. Like I mean, shit. Have you seen anything on me? Have you watched my Jubilee video where I only talked about policies for an hour and a half?
No, I haven't seen that video.
Right. So I just want to clarify.
I want to talk policy,
but like, reverse psychology. You know what I mean? So I just want to clarify. Your argument why Trump raping Agent Carroll is that she it's her fault. And you self-admitted it to victim blame.
What Trump did was wrong. What he did was wrong.
So if a kid knew that Donald Trump had like priors,
what would a kid be working for Trump?
One second. If a kid knew that Donald Trump had priors with like raping people, and the kid quote unquote still chose to be around him, that's so gross to say. And Donald Trump raped the kid. Would that all of a sudden be the kid's fault?
At what point would a kid be choosing to be around Trump?
Charles, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love. W's for Charles in the chat. Doesn't matter. Just engage with Hypothetical.
Then I wouldn't vote for him then. If he did, I wouldn't vote for him.
Okay, so if a kid knew that Donald Trump had done inappropriate things to women, it doesn't make it any less worse when Donald Trump rapes them. But if an adult knew that Donald Trump had done inappropriate things to women, then it does make it less worse. Why?
Because she's working for him.
She wasn't working for him. Where's that lie coming from?
Not working for him? Was she not?
No.
How were they in the same place at the same time?
Yeah, because they went. He went shopping. She was there. No, he saw her there, and he had asked her to help him pick out some lingerie.
And then she agreed.
Yeah.
So a man comes up to you and asks you to pick lingerie, and you agree to a random man asking you to do that? Does that make sense to you? Honestly speaking, does that make sense to you?
Wow. So that part makes no sense, but Donald Trump raping does.
No, it doesn't make sense.
What the fuck? What is this shit? Like, what is this shit? We're just gonna go and kick you. Yeah, wow. We just got we just got a bunch of age restrictions. Well, for the 7,000 people hanging out with us in here today, I'm sorry if I'm not doing the best at like addressing and dealing with these claims. Nicole, I appreciate you for the galaxy. It's good to see you. I'm sorry if I'm not doing the best. Like I'm really trying to. I swear to God, I'm really trying to. But it's just been a couple days since I've been doing this, and I just need to kind of get back into the groove of being able to deal with like rape apologists. But we did get like a couple age restrictions on the live because of him, so the push out is done for the day. We may honestly restart. Chad, is Parker live yet? Because if I mean, Parker may even be watching. Let's see. I know that he was just watching. Maybe that means he's not live yet. Gabby, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Gabby. You were phenomenal. Thank you so much. W's for Gabby in the chat. About to be soon. Yeah.
Didn't Trump beat the legal case for the grape or whatever?
Oh, hi, Daniel. No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't? No. I thought he just got charged like on the civil side.
He did. He did not beat the civil suit against him for grape.
But he beat the legal suit.
No.
No?
What are you saying? I don't know what you're saying, Daniel. I'm sorry. We're gonna go ahead and drop you off here to do a restart. For the 6.6 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, we're gonna go ahead and hit a restart on the stream because of the age restrictions that we just got. So for everyone hanging out, this is a very unfortunate restart. I know, I hate it, but we got to because the live push got restricted. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be phenomenal to see y'all in a minute. Mallory, thank you for the $5 in Venmo. You're awesome. So yeah, I will see you all very, very, very shortly. Come right on back. Just click on my page, click on my profile. See you soon. So in order for like emergency authority to be granted to the president to close the border down, what had to be met was 5,000 crossings in one day. or 2,500 crossings per day averaged in a week, which would then grant special authority to the president. But apart from these provisions of granting special authority to the president, it also funded more to Border Patrol. It funded more to the courts on the border to expedite asylum-seeking processing claims to reduce undocumented migration into our country by granting more incentive for people to come in through the legal means of entry. And overwhelmingly, it would have reduced the impact of the crisis on the southern border. Even if you'd hold to the claim that it wasn't perfect, it was still progress. And if there was a true crisis and Trump cared about it, well, then he would have accepted the progress. And then when he was reelected, would have instituted the quote-unquote real change.
See, you just said a bunch of nonsense because it's not true. Under Title 3, Subtitle A, Section 244B, under, where's this at right here? Yes, right here. Under discretionary activation, the Secretary may activate the Border Emergency Authority if during a period of 7 consecutive calendar days, there is an average of 4,000 or more aliens who are encountered each day. Mandatory would be 5,000 over a 7-day consecutive period, or 8,500 in one day. Also, during the first calendar year, it's only able to be activated 270 days. Second year is 225 days, and the third year is 180 days. So you're going to tell me that that secures the border by still allowing almost 2 million people across each day, or 2 million each year?
Yeah, so if you heard my argument, the provisions granted in Langford's bipartisan border bill were similar provisions in which was introduced with Biden's executive order on the border. It decreased crossings by 60%, putting that out there. Langford's border bill would have significantly, decreased the implications of the border crisis in 2023 if Congress were to have passed it, but Donald Trump decided to torpedo the bill because he didn't want the Democrats to look good, and he quote-unquote even wanted it to be blamed on him when it failed. If Donald Trump cared about the border, he wouldn't have torpedoed it, and that's a fact. Like, let me ask you a question. If your house was on fire and the fire truck showed up and they wanted to put it out, but you told them to turn around so you could watch your house burn to the floor so you could claim the insurance money, did you care about your house?
No, but that's not what happened.
Well, if there's a crisis going on at the southern border and we have a bill show up to Congress that would have, at the bare minimum, reduced the impact of the crisis on the American people, even if it wasn't up to your golden standard. Okay, that's false.
The issue would have had to get twice as bad as it was.
No, because there's other provisions in the bill, right, apart from like the caps on what would give the secretary special authority to close the border down. You're forgetting about the millions of dollars to fund courts on the border,
wasted money,
asylum-seeking claims.
The wasted money that we didn't need to spend.
Wait, it's a waste of money to make our legal systems that for entry into our country safer, quicker, and faster to reduce undocumented entries?
I think it's a waste to give them.
So it's wasting. So reducing undocumented migration into our country is a waste of money.
No, that's not what was a waste. What's a waste?
That's what it would have done, though.
No, what you don't need is more asylum judges. You need to tell these people that are claiming asylum they can wait in Mexico. Then they won't come here because they know they won't be let into the country.
Not according to Trump. Not according to Trump. You're talking about the Remain in Mexico policy. Trump didn't even claim that as an effective border policy under his admin. In fact, if you look at the graph behind him at the rally he got shot at, he claims that his clampdown on the southern border started with Title 42 and COVID in 2020, right? Not with a wall, not with the Remain in Mexico policy. Trump didn't claim any of those.
Yeah, I don't care what Trump claims. I look at what's real. Trump says a lot of stuff that's stupid and will never happen.
Sonny, thank you for the $20 on Venmo, saying great job. I appreciate you for the $20, Sonny. You're phenomenal.
I look what actually works.
Wait, it didn't work because we only saw crossings over our southern border increase year by year after the introduction of the Remain in Mexico policy.
It was not, no.
Yes, we did. You're denying reality. I'm once again, go look at Trump's graph of the year-by-year crossings under his admin. We saw crossings increase year by year until the introduction of Title 42.
And what did Title 42 say?
Title 42 shut down the border because of a public health emergency. And Hannah, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Hannah. W Hannah's in the chat. Boom.
No. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
you're wrong.
So that's not what Title 42 did? Tell me what Title 42 did, Pookie.
I mean, Title 42 shut down the country because it was a public health crisis, yes, but...
Okay, fuck you. You're gone. Oh, my God. You're a joke. Let's go into what our next guest has to say. You're cooked. You're so cooked. You're so incredibly cooked. I'm not... gonna load. Okay. All right. Yo, M Sharp, I appreciate you so much for the boxing gloves. Let's go. Thank you so much for the 2 boxing gloves. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you so much. Thank you for the 2 boxing gloves, M Shark. You were phenomenal. Sharp, sorry. What's going on, Dyson? Are you voting for Trump?
I am.
All right. Why?
Although giving it a second thought because of you, Dean.
Hey, W, man.
Yeah, so it's the asking everybody, would you vote for a rapist to be president? And but that caused me to jump down the hole of that case and really dive into it. And I don't know. I got to tell you, the preponderance of the evidence threshold in that civil case. I mean, listening to you, and talking to a lot of guests. I thought that meant pretty much beyond a reasonable doubt, right? And looking into it, the analogy that I read online is if beyond a reasonable doubt is, a kickoff return for 100 yards for a touchdown, then preponderance of the evidence is getting tackled after running 51 yards.
Okay, so here's what I have to say to that. So I'd say that the actual evidence submitted into the court case proved that Donald Trump had raped her beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt. That 51%, true, 49% false, that's the bare minimum for the preponderance of evidence to be met. I believe that they met it at the same standard of evidence upheld by a criminal court, using just my subjective inferences on the evidence. I'd recommend looking into that. Then additionally here, I bet you'd say that you wouldn't vote for Trump if he was held civilly liable for raping a child. I'd also be using that same preponderance of evidence as a standard. So seemingly you'd accept it in one scenario, but not the other.
So let me throw this at you. The evidence, from what I've seen, nobody witnessed it. There were no employees that saw anything. She reported it to 2 friends and a therapist years later.
The therapist notes were from the same year that it occurred.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. And the timing of it, I just question it. So, I mean, I certainly understand. I work in mental health. I understand, the trauma like that. It's normal for it to take decades for somebody to process through it and come forward. But to come forward, 25 some odd years later, write a book, have that book edited and published and ready to be released right when he's starting to campaign for re-election. I
You know what? I'm going to use a very interesting analogy here. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I think it proves my point. So recently, I've had screenshots and videos, resurface online of me saying the N-word, the F slur, the R slur from when I was, 14, 15, and 17 years ago. Okay. And one could make the argument, well, the timing of it seems real interesting because how come it's only coming up when Dean is starting to blow up on TikTok and on Twitter? Therefore, Dean actually didn't say these slurs. Dean never did it, and these are all lies. Is that a fair argument, Dyson?
I'm just collecting my thoughts on it. So I see your point. What I would say was, and it's my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that she never even intended to pursue this civilly, that it was an attorney that approached her and convinced her to...
New counter argument unlocked. New counter argument unlocked. Oh, new counter argument unlocked. Holy shit. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's phenomenal. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it's also everything else, right? It's also everything else, right?
Holy shit, yo, Neha! Thank you so much for the Leon the Kitten. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate you for the Leon the Kitten Niha. Let's get some massive W's for Nia in the chat with the Leon the Kitten. I really appreciate you for the love. Massive W's for Niha in the chat. Thank you so much for the Leon the Kitten. That is so incredibly kind of you. Massive W's for Nia down below. It is so good to see you, Nia. I hope that you're well. Thank you so much for the love. Go ahead, Ben. I apologize for interrupting you. Take it away.
No, I mean, I was just going to say, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, it's the fraud trial. It's everything that we've, been, everything we've had thrown at us about President Trump, and so much of it being,
well, I mean, first of all,
out of context, I would say.
That's
know
wrong.
what I mean?
That's wrong. The fraud trial wasn't thrown out because the claims were false. The judge had just ruled that both parties were okay with the fraud and that they don't typically prosecute it. And then also, I'm just going to continue to use this analogy. Okay, well, even if there's been some sham and fake stuff thrown at Trump, that doesn't discount the real stuff, right? And this is me trying to see from your perspective. For instance, I had fake screenshots of things that I didn't actually say get posted all over Twitter, right, in tandem to the things that I did actually say. So because there were some fake screenshots of things that I didn't say circulating, does that mean that the real screenshots were also fake?
No, we're in complete agreement, and that's where somebody like me, right? That so for governor, I'm voting.
Do you see how
Democrat.
Do you see how your logic insofar as why you reject the civil court that held Trump liable for rape fails?
So I don't think I would question it if not for everything else, right? And that's one of the reasons why I really had to look at the vote and take a step back and jump into a lot of issues and a lot of preconceived notions that I've had on President Trump. With Vice President Harris being a complete unknown.
I don't know what you're saying. You're not Dyson. I'm just gonna Julia. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo saying new counter argument unlocked. So real. This doesn't. You're not. I don't know what you're saying. I feel like you're just kind of saying words right now. The fact of the matter is, Donald Trump was held civilly liable for raping E. Carroll in the 90s, and this was proven to a unanimous jury of 9 individuals when it didn't need to be unanimous due to a preponderance of evidence. And I believe that the actual evidence submitted in that court proved that it had occurred beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt. Why do you reject the findings of this jury? That is a question that I'm asking.
Well, I guess
a question that I don't think we've got.
Yeah, I guess what I was trying to articulate was I think that's why people discount it, including myself, is all the other issues that you alluded to that may have been inaccurate or taken out of context.
Such as what?
Okay. The fraud case obviously was one.
The fraud case law. What happened with the fraud case? 1 second.
The Muslim ban is another one that gets taken out of context quite all the time.
No, that never.
His agreement with OPEC.
1 second.
I'm sorry.
We'll talk about that. What happened with the fraud case?
It went before the Court of Appeals, and that's it. There was no opinion issued or anything along those lines.
So you're saying
my understanding is it went before the appellate court, and kind of there. I don't even know if a decision was rendered yet at this point, but what they were asking was, how can
So what would the grounds be to appeal the decision? So, well, here's what I'd say. I'd say that it's atypical, right, for the determination of a jury to be appealed, right, even when we look at the civil and criminal litigation held against Trump. All right, in comparison to all of the litigation against him, it is still yet atypical for that litigation to be appealed. All right, so you'd have to give me special reason to believe that the civil court that determined that he had raped E. Carroll will be appealed by granting me the grounds in which they would appeal on, or in other words, granting me the evidence that the findings of the court were false. Although it is a possibility.
I don't think that would be appealed. Yeah.
Oh, well, if you don't think it's going to be appealed, that means that you think that Donald Trump raped E. Carroll.
No, that's a leap.
No, because you're saying that there's been other things that have occurred that have been appealed that have been proven to be false, right? But for instance, right? That's just that all that point goes to show is that it's possible, right? That the findings of the civil court that held him liable for rape were incorrect, right? But this is something I call the possibility probability fallacy, You're right. You have to demonstrate to me that that is probable.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I guess I can't say that, I believe that he did, and I can't say that I don't believe that he...
But you're just not giving us any reason why you reject the findings. That's all.
Because of everything that I said to you. You
just showed that sometimes the findings of a court could be appealed. Okay, well, sometimes people could be falsely imprisoned for murder. Does that mean that all murderers in jail are innocent? No, right?
No, it's not the fact that it was appealed. I mean, it's the fact that so much, regarding President Trump in his past and policies have been taken out of context.
Okay, so
we were fed this Russia.
So if he was criminally convicted tomorrow of raping a child, would you still vote for him?
No.
Okay, but why? So many things that he has said that's been taken out of context.
If he was criminally convicted, in my mind, that is a totally different,
thank you for the
legal standard bar. It's the preponderance of the evidence versus beyond a reasonable doubt.
Hey, Dyson, do you know what the first case against Trump from E. Jean Carroll was?
No, go ahead. Defamation?
Yeah, it was a defamation case. And the reason for that is after E. Jean Carroll released her book, I think, What Do We Need Men For? She recounted this event in Bergdorf Goodman department store. And Donald Trump went on like this vicious campaign against her, like 30 tweets a night, just saying really horrendous things. Like also in that book, she accused Les Moonves. The former. Now, Les Moonves just ignored her. Like he didn't say anything. She didn't sue Les Moonves because he didn't defame her. Trump, on the other hand, did. And so that was the initial suit. Now, the second suit happened after New York modified the Child Victims and Survivors Act, which actually passed before her book was published, to also include adults. And that gave a look-back period that gave her an exception to the statute of limitations to file the civil suit.
Right.
So, I mean, if it was only to just mess with him during the election, like the whole trigger of it was his defamation. Like, had he not said anything, she wouldn't have even had grounds to file the first suit.
I think I lost you there. Is the last thing you said again? Sorry.
Yeah, had he not said anything to her, had he not viciously defamed her, she wouldn't have even had grounds to file the first suit, let alone the second.
Right. And she said that the only reason she did was because of what he said, while Les Moonves didn't say anything. Right. Again, I guess it. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, by convicting him based on a preponderance of the evidence, that also means there can be and is reasonable doubt as to whether or not he did it. And right.
But I mean, the same things that you're worried about, I'm sure at least one of the 9 jurors was worried about, right? Like the same reservations that you have. But the jurors were in a unique position. None of us watching this live and nobody opining about this were in. They got to see all the witnesses, got to see the evidence. They got to watch E. Jean Carroll testify and be subject to cross-examination. They got to watch Trump and how Trump reacted to the case. They got to assess the credibility of the witnesses, whether it was her friends or the employees of Bergdorf Goodman who laid out the store layout and said, yes, it would be possible because of the privacy of our changing rooms where this could happen and other employees or customers may not have been able to see this or hear this. Like all 9 jurors, even though it didn't have to be all 9, all of their reservations were overcome, and they're the ones who got to see and evaluate the credibility of the witnesses and the evidence. I just don't see how any of us would be in a better position than them to gauge the validity of the case.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is what caused me to start questioning my vote, frankly. Because I have a young daughter, young son, never in a million years would vote for somebody that did something like this, whether it was 5 years ago or 20. But I also would not want to be one to, to hold, a false an accusation that's not true against somebody. You know what I
What
mean?
if you're held civilly liable for raping a little girl?
So if all the circumstances were the same, and it happened in 1994, 1995, we'd be having the same conversation, Dean. I'd be having the same doubts.
So if you're held civilly liable for like raping a little girl, you want to, okay. All right, man. Well, is there anything else you wanted to go over? Like, I'm gonna be so honest with you. This is conspiracy theory. You don't have good reason to believe in what you do. I'm not gonna convince you otherwise. Just
all
keep
right,
thinking.
thank you.
Yeah, Dyson. I understand that you're on a better path than a lot of people that come up in here. So just keep thinking, keep watching the live, man. I appreciate you for at least taking 1 foot in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, politically, I'm, much closer aligned to Vice President Harris on healthcare, immigration. So.
Oh, so then vote for Harris.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Lau, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you back. Been keeping tabs on you. I've given you your space, but hope things are going well, all things considered.
Actually, would you be available to talk tonight?
Yeah, I sent you a message with my my cell number, or you can hit me up on Discord, whatever is easiest for you.
Thank you. What's up, Leo? Are you voting for Trump?
Real quick, thank you to thank you for everybody in the chat saying very nice and kind things. I missed you guys too. Sorry, Leah, go ahead.
That's fine. Yes, I am, but I do have a question before I'm gonna get into that.
What time is it?
That's all right. I wanted to ask you this yesterday, but you didn't accept my request. But okay, so I saw on Twitter that you think that incest shouldn't be illegal, or at least not necessarily, and I just want to hear your opinion. What is your reasoning for it?
Oh, dear God. Oh,
it was
so embarrassing.
It was a cut-off clip, so I don't know if anything was after it.
No. Okay. Yeah, so that was embarrassing. So when you first start debating, and you're not really that good at it, sometimes you will concede on crazy reductio ad absurdisms. So here's the context. I had just first started debating the topic, is being gay wrong? And I had someone come up and they were making a comparison between gay sex and incest, right? And they were making the argument that I think that incest is wrong without any reason. And like thereby it's okay for them to think that gay sex is wrong without any reason. It is just such like a fucking like gross, bad argument. But at the time, I didn't know how to respond to the argument. So they asked me if incest should be legal, and I just responded, yeah. I obviously do not think that. And after about a year and a half of debate experience, I now know how to respond to that position. That's just a little embarrassing. Okay. Just a little embarrassing. Yeah. I appreciate you for coming up too. I have a good one, Leah.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Yeah. That was a crazy fucking clip. We're going to move on to our next guest. But by the way, it was about the legality of incest, not the morality of it. You've been having a couple of bad days. You could say that again.
Yeah, but Dean, that's not a crazy argument among like libertarian circles. Is like, yes, it's morally wrong, but what's the government's role to regulate it? Like that's not like especially in libertarian circles, that's not a very uncommon thought experiment.
Yeah, that's also like what I think I had appealed to in the clip, because I was like a libertarian for a while, and then like finally a Parker convinced me on live not to be. I remember that. Hey, what's up, Jenny? You voting for Trump?
I am.
You are awesome. Why?
I just think he's awesome.
Okay, Jenna, so I want to clarify. You think that the guy that has sexualized a girl saying that he dated her in 10 years, the guy that has raped a woman, the guy that wanted to institute a shutdown of all new Muslims coming into our country, the 34 count felon fraudster that tried to overturn the results of the 2020 election, that guy's awesome?
Kinda, yeah. I think he's real, at least, compared to like Kamala.
Okay, so you think that like rapists are awesome? Some rapists are.
I think the
really
government
cool.
is corrupt completely.
Okay,
I don't think that the government is.
Yes or no? Some rapists are cool.
Come on now.
No, it's a very real question.
Come on now, Dean.
No, Jenna, you come on. Answer the question.
We are totally on opposite sides, but I think you're pretty cool. I like you.
Okay. Thank you, Jenna. So,
and I'm sorry that you've been going through all this stuff. I've been watching it.
Well, thank you for voicing your thoughts here.
Yeah.
But do you mind answering the question?
Okay, go ahead. You're good?
Are some rapists awesome?
I mean, no. And I don't think Donald Trump is my, I don't look at him as somebody I want to follow morally, but I look at it realistically. Being like an older person a little bit, a couple more years older than you. Some life experience. You start to see things in a different way. I know it's not cool to ever be a rapist. I get it.
So then describe to me the way that you're seeing things. Why is Trump a better candidate than Kamala Harris?
Because I think Kamala Harris and that whole administration is just very corrupt. I think that they are completely, like you would say that I am indoctrinated because of my Christianity, but I think you're indoctrinated in your youth, what they're programming you to believe, what they're the higher ups, the elites, and all that. I really do believe that.
Well, when I was
there is a force in the world that is.
When I was more youthful, I was like a racist, homophobic.
But you are youthful. You're 20 years old, if that, right? 19.
So wait, would you say that? What, like the more
you have so much to learn. You're just a child, literally, still, and that's okay.
So I just want to.
You're smart.
Do you mind if I clarify? So the more youthful you are, the more indoctrinated you are. So
I think that you're more vulnerable to it because you don't have as much life experience. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I was more vulnerable to indoctrination when I was a racist, homophobic, Trump-supporting bigot.
Yeah, but you're just being indoctrinated the other way. Why don't you just figure out exactly why are you going to the street either way?
I think we need to understand what indoctrination is to debunk and respond to your claim here. So indoctrination.
It's what you. Okay, go ahead.
Allow me to finish. Indoctrination is like the acceptance of belief without any reason, right? Not like feeling in adversity to like challenging what you believe in because you don't really have any reason to believe in what you do. And I can literally substantiate anything that I believe in with an insurmountable amount of evidence. And if I'm going to be honest with you, the argument that I'm younger than you, therefore I'm less wise, less intelligent, more indoctrinated, etc., is false. Sure, you've had more life experience.
I don't think. I think you're completely you're totally educated. You have a lot of wisdom in the world, but life wisdom just takes time, no matter how old you are.
Okay, Jenna, I'm so sorry for doing this. Why do you think Christianity is true?
It's just been my experience. I can't explain it. I've studied it for years.
Jenna, you were calling me indoctrinated. Then I asked you why Christianity is true, and then you say verbatim, "You can't tell me." Do we see it? Do we? What's one policy Trump passed during his first term that you liked?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Who the fuck is indoctrinated, Jenna? Hello?
Dean, why you gotta be a dick?
Jenna, I'm so sorry for being a dick.
Why though?
I'm proving a point, and I'm doing so strong.
But wait, can't we just disagree on things and not try to tear each other apart? Isn't that kind of what you wanted people to do for you after you just sat there and ate it yesterday? All these people saying all this stuff to you,
I will always be accepting a criticism, and I feel like I'm not even being that mean to you right now, Jenna.
Oh, I know. I've seen you be
just being very
obnoxious to
critical.
people.
I'm fine with people being critical of me the same way I'm being critical of you. And then you said, then am I doing it for the money?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty sweet deal you guys got in this generation.
I know.
With TikTok and stuff, you can make a lot of money doing this.
I know, right? Yes.
Why
no,
not? I'm not faulting you for it. I'm not faulting you for it. I know a lot of these people are.
Listen,
it's okay.
Jenna, I'm gonna come clean. I'm gonna come clean here.
I'm not saying that the Democratic
do you mind if I
Party's paying
speak?
you.
I'm about to come
I'm
clean.
saying all these dumbass kids are paying you.
You're about to get you're about to get the best out of contexting clip to ever exist because I'm about to come clean. Yep, I am doing this for the money. I lost and destroyed most of my relationship with my mother for the money. I have had friends
You
from
see
high school.
how evil that is?
One moment, like revolt and detest me for the money. I took the path of the most resistance and have been conning people for a year and a half into believing that I am someone who I'm not for the money. I started streaming on TikTok having no future prospect of how well I'd be doing or how much money I'd be making, and quit web development, quit software engineering for the money. Do you see how just insane that view is? But speaking of, Heather, thank you for the fireworks. Maddie with a $100 on Venmo for the money. Holy shit, I want to see at least 1,000 W's for Maddie in the chat. Thank you so very much. Massive W's for Maddie in the chat. Thank you so much for the $100. You were absolutely so kind. Thank you so much. W Maddie's down below. That is absolutely so kind of you. Thank you so much, Maddie. W Maddie all day, every day, baby. Thank you so much for the $100. I hope that you are so well. No, I'm not doing it for the money. There's your fucking answer.
Gotcha.
So going back to the debate, you just were accusing me of being indoctrinated instead of actually trying to engage in a good faith conversation. Let me ask you a question. In respect to policy, what policy does Trump have that Kamala Harris doesn't that you think makes him the better candidate?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
So then what's your evaluative standard for who you're voting for if it's not policy? And it's not character because you don't care about him being a great womanizer.
I only take it so seriously. I really do. I see it in a different lens, the world. And it's probably not the same as you would. So that's okay.
But no, but could you literally articulate your evaluative standard of why you've determined to vote for Trump over Harris? Because it's not policy, it's not character. What is it?
I don't align with a lot of the democratic beliefs.
Like what? Like what, Jenna?
Like my Christianity beliefs.
Like what? Which ones? I'd say Christianity actually aligns more with the left than the right. What specific beliefs do you hold from Christianity that make you not align with the left?
I don't really think that's true, though.
So then name the democratic beliefs. Sorry, name the Christian beliefs here that make you align with the right more than the left. Let's hear it.
Where's law at in this conversation?
What?
Where's law? This guy law?
Dude, answer my fucking question.
I sit back and until a nerdy
Answer your fucking question.
Until a nerdy answer is required.
Brimnir, thank you for the mystery fireworks. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you, Brimnir, for the mystery fireworks. Okay. Can you answer my question? What Christian beliefs do you hold that align more with the right than the left?
Probably the abortion.
Oh, really? No, because that view, in accordance with Christianity, actually aligns more with the left, which is leaving that choice up to the people. Let me ask you a question. If God sees a woman getting an abortion, can stop them but doesn't, is God doing anything wrong?
I do agree. For many years, I kind of felt the same way. It's between you and God. You should be able to make your own choice because that's what God said. So I'm kind of maybe in the middle at the end of the day.
Let me cook, Jenna.
But you want to put me in the box, I guess, so bad because that's what you do. Because you're such a nice guy.
Jenna, just let me cook. Just let me cook, Jenna. Okay?
Yeah, cook, buddy, cook.
So if God saw a woman getting an abortion, could stop them but didn't, did God do anything wrong?
Say that again?
If God saw a woman getting an abortion, could stop them but didn't, did God do anything wrong?
No.
No, okay, but we'll even take it one step further now. If God saw a woman getting an abortion, could stop them and did stop them, would God be doing anything wrong? Keep in mind he would, because that's infringing upon their free will.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not God, really.
Ryan, thank you for the $1 on PayPal. So in other words, the most godly thing to do is to allow women to
Is to
decide if they
admit
want
that you don't know the
abortion
answers
or
to everything,
not.
which you or Parker really cannot do ever, because
No,
your
I know the
egos are
answers to
like out of
everything.
control.
I know the answer to everything that could ever exist. Don't be silly.
It's so
Jenna.
true, though.
No, I know the answer to. I am like the magic 8 ball that can truly answer any question that's asked of me. Try me. Ask me a question, a random one. I know the answer.
No, that's good.
Ask me a question. Let's see it. Ask me anything.
Oh my god.
I'm obviously being like hyperbolic. That was a lie. I am going to move on to our next guest because you're not really answering, the questions that are being asked of you. But thank you, Jenna. We're going to move on to our next guest here. If you guys do want to support me or Law, we have our Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPals in the bio. We are going to move on to our next guest here right now, though. Let's go and see what Patrick has to say. Phenomenal. All right, let's see. Everybody, just give us a minute. Someone in the chat said that I censored them. I'm sorry.
You're giving your enemy some very powerful out of context clips tonight.
Britt, I appreciate you.
They're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, if they don't get it out of context, they just make it up. But
yeah,
everybody here, we've got 5.8 thousand people. Dean's only sitting at 337,000 likes. That's not good enough to keep him on the For You page. If everybody could fill up that little pink bar in the upper left, double tap the screen until that bar fills up 2 times. That'll get Dean above 500K easy and keep us rolling.
Yo, someone in the chat just said some crazy shit. We're going to move on to our next guest. Yeah, man, I am, but honestly, like, I have, like, a certain, like, sense of humor that I'm not going to forsake because I have, like, the eyes of the enemy on me right now, Like, they could have their out-of-context clips of me saying that I'm doing it for the money and that I know what
the one thing in the one thing in politics that you want to try to do is get inside the other person's decision-making loop. It's the OODA loop is what it's called, the orient, observe, decide, and act loop. You want to try to make them act differently based off of your actions. And the best thing you could do is just do what you do as if they didn't exist, and don't let them orient the way that you want to go, because eventually you're going to power through it, and they're...
Oh, Law was cooking. There you go. Keep cooking.
Sorry, I had a low battery pop up. I got to plug in, but yeah, I said eventually you're gonna overcome it, and the audience who follows you is going to keep following you. The only thing that letting them get in your OODA loop does is give them more oxygen and more attention than they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a complicated process over the course of the last couple days. I'll probably dive into that on like a live here one of these days here soon. I don't think I'm ready for that yet though. What's up, Ashers? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, why?
Well, a lot of reasons, to be honest with you. I've been kind of doing my research, kind of listening to how Kamala talks when she goes to her little rallies and stuff. I just don't understand why, like, she has a lot of, like, switch-ups for certain things. Like, she was all into, like, the Medicare thing, and then all of a sudden she, like, switched. But
yeah, I mean, I could detail to you. I think that in operating in like the executive branch of our government really moderates your views if you work effectively with Congress. Because you either sink or swim when you're in that position. You either meet in the middle of the aisle and you're able to bring Congress together on bipartisan issues, or you're not, right? And the way that you meet in the middle of the aisle is by moderating your own views to be able to get them to come together more. I think it makes total sense that after 4 years in that executive branch of the government as a good, effective leader and policy maker, that we would see some moderations in her farther left views.
And just real quick, I just want to toss something in on. I just want to toss something in on that. When she was a senator too, she represented California, and California is arguably the most liberal state in our union. And the desires and the wants of the people of California and what they expect out of their representatives are different than the country as a whole. So it's a different perspective and a different way that legislators will look at it. And anybody running for a higher office has to challenge themselves and look at how are they going to represent the entirety of their constituency.
Also a good point.
Okay. What about like her being like tough on crime record? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
What? Her being tough on crime? What does it have to do with why you're voting for Trump? I'm asking you why you're voting for Trump, and I don't think you're giving us an answer.
Well, I'm voting for Trump because of all basically the economy.
The economy. Okay. So what economic policy does Trump have that you like?
The taxes. Do you think that people deserve? Do you think people deserve to be taxed more?
No. I think that the average American deserves to be
Well,
taxed
that's what
less.
Kamala is trying to do if she runs into
Really?
office. Because how is she going to give up all the money that she's expecting to give out, like for the housing and stuff? Can you explain that to me?
It's so fucking funny because this is all true of Trump. So she actually wants to cut taxes for 100 million American workers and the low and the middle class, and she's going to pay for it by increasing taxes on the ultra wealthy and corporations. Donald Trump is going to cut taxes on the ultra wealthy and the corporations, and he's going to pay for it by raising taxes on the low and the middle class. So if you think that,
He
like,
is
the average
not
American
going to
deserves-
raise it. He's not going to raise it in for lower and middle class.
That's what tariffs do. Unfortunately, they regressively impact members of the low and the middle class the most. It will cause inflation in the pricing of goods at the grocery store. He intends to implement like flat tariffs on all goods imported into the country, and that will be the unfortunate consequence of that. Yeah. Up north, I appreciate you for the subscription. Donald Trump's economic model will make life worse for the average American. Kamala Harris's economic model will make life better for the average American. And right now, we have very high income inequities, low levels of consumer saving, high levels of
All
consumer
right.
debt.
Well, then how do you explain
I
like
was
people?
cooking, but thank you for cutting me off.
How about people who are working, right? And then they don't like the way that they're getting taxed for every single thing that either they're working, they're buying. So how do you explain that? Because basically she's still going over based on what Biden is going for. Those were kind of like her policies. That's what she's kind of going for. So how do you explain people already complaining about all the taxes, but she's going to essentially do the same thing?
Oh, are you getting taxed too much right now?
Of course.
And like our tax policy right now is just hot garbage, right?
Yeah.
Like you would never fucking vote for whoever wrote our current tax policy.
I mean, it's Trump's, but then yet again, why did he keep it? Why did he keep it?
Oh, chat! No, you spoiled the plot. No.
Why did he keep it though?
Oh my god! Yeah, because they're gonna get congressional approval to renew it. So I just want to clarify. You think that Donald Trump's economic tax policy is absolute dog shit, right?
Not entirely, no.
No, but you just said it was before you knew it was Trump's. You said that our current economic tax policy is hot garbage.
How do you explain all the inflation then?
No, we'll get to that next. We're not going to pivot. You told me that our current economic tax policy is hot fucking garbage.
Well,
Did
yeah,
you say
because
that?
because I own a business.
Yeah, and our current economic tax policy, guess who that belongs to?
I don't know. Enlighten me.
Donald Trump, the TCGA, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. It expires next year. We're still under his shit. So the fact that you're willing to sit here and say that Donald Trump's economic policy is terrible, yet you are going to vote for him regardless of the fact that he's like a crazy racist, misogynist, womanizer, rapist that tried to overthrow our country because of his economic policy, is very backwards.
Okay, so if he's so misogynistic and all of that, why are you voting for a woman that hates men? If you are a man yourself.
I don't think that Kamala Harris hates men. This is a massive pivot, but it sounds like a fun one, so I'll entertain it. Britbat, thank you for the meteor shower. I appreciate you for the love, Britbat. W Britbat down below in the chat. I appreciate you for the meteor shower. So let's hear it. How does Kamala Harris hate men?
I mean, doesn't she go about always just supporting women and women and women? But when it comes to men, it's like they're dumb. Even to you, you're a young guy, you're younger than me. And she went ahead and said that men and young kids are stupid and they shouldn't be allowed to vote. So why would you want to vote for her?
Wait, do you think that young kids should be allowed to vote?
She was referring to the 18 years old kids.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify. So first of all, you're not a kid when you're 18. You're an adult. Secondarily,
Well, and not in her brain. So how do you explain that her saying that?
So secondarily, she was given a speech about how like kids like go to school and how we need to make colleges better equipped to deal with our youth because sometimes members of our youth can make bad decisions. You understand, like, if you really care about making personal insults or attacks on people and their intelligence, like Donald Trump has made fun of disabled reporters and called Kamala Harris the R slur like yesterday, right? Like, but once again, I asked you to justify the point that she hates men. And your argument was that she called all young men and women dumb. So does that mean that she also hates women?
No, I feel like she supports women more in the way that she thinks that women should have more of a right for them to be able to have abortions, be
You want the
able
kicker?
to,
You want the kicker?
Sorry?
What systemic issues are men currently facing that policy could effectively resolve?
I'm sorry, you cut off on my end.
What systemic issues are men currently being oppressed by that policy could effectively resolve?
What about them
Tiffany,
like
thank you for the subscription.
having to go to war?
So you think that the draft
Why
and then going
why
to war
yeah
is
why
bad?
why are women not like like why don't they do that?
Yeah, I have a question. Who set up the draft?
Men.
A Republican man. Yeah.
So you're okay with that?
So do Republican men hate other men because they only want men in the draft?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
No,
like
okay,
they're not equal.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So once again,
Because that's what Kamala talks about being
Wait,
equal.
wait,
but
one
clearly-
second. Do you think that I hate men? Because I'll be the first to fucking say it. There's like no fucking system. There's no like.
No, I don't think you
systems
hate
that oppress
people.
men.
I've never said that. I don't
Wait,
think
wait.
that you hate
I want to clarify on this. I've been thinking, right, for like years about forms of oppression that could exist to impact only men. And there's like only one. There's only one that I think could have some justification for it. That being like men getting raped. I feel like we should put a little bit more attention on that. I don't think it has the attention that it needs. But
I completely agree on that with you.
There's like no systemic issues that oppress and impact men because men exist in the oppressor class. However, we are actively experiencing a systemic issue that impresses women on a day-to-day basis. I mean, 1 out of every 3 women at home here in America today do not have access to lethal elective abortions. 65,000 women that have been living in the state of Texas since Roe v. Wade got overturned have been denied access to abortion after they got pregnant as a result of rape. You understand that when you make the claim she hates men because she has a focus on women, that's like saying that MLK hated white people because he had a focus on systemic forms of oppression against black people. Like, do you think that MLK hated white people?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
so Kamala Harris doesn't hate men.
I get your point now. So yeah, you proved me wrong. Sure, I give you your point on that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just like it was not convincing me to vote for her. I think it's the way. I don't think that she has like the leadership for her to run a country. I don't know.
Oh, is it
That's
because
just-
she's a woman?
No, I just think because she's not that
Really?
smart.
Oh, wait, why don't you think that she's that smart? Is it because she's a woman?
No,
Really. Prove me wrong by giving me good reason to believe that she's not that smart.
I mean, she doesn't have that much time in Senate, and as a vice president, she didn't really do much.
Okay. Oh, so this is how I know that you're just saying it because she's a woman, because she actually has more qualification in government compared to Donald Trump.
How can you elaborate that further?
4 years as VP law. You could correct me here. Either 2 or 4 years in the Senate, then like a collective of 15 years in the DA and AG.
Yeah, 6 years in the Senate, 1 term.
Thank you. 6 years and then Trump has 4 years as president. She's more qualified in the sense of time spent in government compared to Donald Trump. Also, wasn't like the right's big reason to vote for Trump in 2016 because he had no experience in government, but seemingly now that makes Kamala Harris not that smart, even though she has more. And M, thank you for the boxing gloves. I appreciate you for the love. And Laurel, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate it. So do you see how like I definitely think that you are just saying that she's not fit to lead because of
because it's
internalized
like I just
misogyny?
don't think like someone who is a leadership or is going to have the role of a leadership is going to change her positions on important issues like super quickly, like without like backing away.
What does a leader do? What is the role of a leader?
Lead the country.
and then what does it mean to lead the country?
To take control of everything in the country.
And your considerations for taking control of the country are what? The people that live in the country. So I think that when Kamala Harris is able to come together with Congress, with the American people, and change her views based upon what can get the most good done, that demonstrates that she's actually a better leader than Donald Trump.
I mean, how
because
do you...
being so stern, strict, and set in your ways, right, is a very unsuccessful strategy for leadership and an effective democracy with checks and balances, especially where your views are supposed to be representative of the constituents in which you are leading. Okay,
I don't know.
So you're
To me
actually
as
just
a-
giving us an
I don't know.
argument
To
for why
me as
she's
a
actually
vice-
better at leading.
I don't know. To me, as a vice president, she hasn't shown like strong leadership, like on major issues, like especially when it has to do with the border crisis. She hasn't even been to the border. Oh, and
Okay,
she hasn't even been to Europe either, by the way.
So she actually she was at the border in the last month, and she went to the border in
From
2022.
all the 4 years, she barely went last month.
And she went in 2022. Let's face the facts.
What can you show me those facts?
You need to upgrade the Talking Point app. You're a couple years behind.
Yeah, you are. See, so the talking point shifted from the claim that she's never been to the border to the claim that, well, when she did go, she went to a safe spot. That's the new claim, right, Law?
Yep, El Paso.
Yeah, El Paso. See what you need? Your talking points are out of date. They're so bad. They're so bad.
Then how about her track of as a persecutor?
As a prosecutor,
Yeah.
What about it? What? Don't say the names of any drugs. I don't want another age.
No, I'm not gonna do any of that. Don't worry.
So what about her track record as a prosecutor, like prosecuting transatlantic gangs?
I don't know. It's like she
serving
contradicts her
well
current
as a
stance
DA
on
of
like
San Francisco.
justice reform.
Literally
so-
being so fucking good for San Francisco that Donald Trump donated thousands of dollars to her campaign, endorsed her and everything, said that San Francisco was great when she was the DA. What about it? Tells us.
But San Francisco is a shithole.
After she left, I know. That's why she's so good at leading. According to Trump, it was so great. It was so great when she was the DA, and it's been a shithole ever since.
Then how
Mama
about here?
Peach,
How
thank
about
you
here
so
in
much
LA?
for the motorcycle. I appreciate you for the love. Massive W's for Mama Peach in the chat with a motorcycle. No, according to Trump, it was so great 15 years ago when Kamala Harris was the DA. It's been so bad ever since. It's so great when she was there, so bad after she left.
All right, then what made you? I don't know, because I know that you said earlier, because I've been here, that you said that you used to be a liberal, right? What made you?
I used to be a conservative.
Oh, okay. What made you change?
Yeah, exposure to education. That's it, man. Critical thought. Like
Blame
recognize.
Parker.
I'd say, well, like analytically. Well, I think the overall, like, she's asking like about my ideological switches. I don't blame
I was
Parker.
Just making a joke. Yeah.
Well, like people like Parker for sure.
Because I'm like you right now. I'm a conservative, but I'm wondering like what
I'm
made
not a
you change?
conservative. Yeah, like
No,
just
I know, but
exposure to education, man. That's seriously all. Like I think that it's really easy to like exist in like echo chambers because for the most part, like outside of like TikTok, outside of these debate lives, outside of like the internet, like people just kind of like watch the news, consume whatever they see as fact, and just believe it without like any opposition to like show why their views may be like wrong. Okay.
so
Like,
you don't really
I
watch
was
the news
cooking.
like that.
I was cooking. Yeah, let me finish.
No,
and
I'm trying to listen. It's just that I'm trying to understand your point.
Well, I mean, I just grew up in an echo chamber where everyone was conservative. And I was just kind of taught to be a conservative by my parents and those around me. All right, I was like taught behaviors by like through like negative societalization that led me into being like a very bigoted, bad person, Trump supporter. And I think like overwhelmingly what the point here is what kind of like switched me ideologically speaking from who I was a handful of years ago to now. Was exposure to like legitimate like good faith conversation about like the nuances of these positions, why some are more justified than others, given like facts, reason, and logic. And that's why I do what I do today, man. Like I am case study number one that this shit works. I really am.
So based on let's say if somebody wants to like try to change and understand a little bit better, how would you like in the point of view of you trying to see policies, what made you change like seeing policies on different sides?
Well, I mean, I think like the first big thing that kind of sparked change in me from like not being a Trump supporter specifically was just recognizing and understanding the absolute infighting that he created in America, like the diversity that he no, that's not the right word. What is it? Is it diversity? Like the adversary that he caused in amongst American citizens. He like made our divide. He created a divide. There we go. Donald Trump creates a divide between the American people by creating an in group and an out group, by fueling bigoted, hateful rhetoric, and fueling this partisan gap of politics where the sides are so far separated from one another, no constructive dialogue could be held. And that was my first big reason why I no longer supported Donald Trump.
So and that was even animosity was probably the word you're looking for.
Animosity, there we go. So that was even at a point where I thought I liked him and I thought I liked his policy, but I just knew that he could never be an effective leader to push America in a good direction because of his inability to bring the American people together.
So how is he dividing the people?
Yeah, man. 70% of Republicans today believe that he won the 2020 election. This is such a obvious and apparent example of division because there is no middle of the aisle to meet in when it comes to fact and fiction. You know,
have you seen that? What is it called? That documentary, like 2000 Mules or something like that?
I have, and you know the people that created that documentary admitted in court that they had no evidence for the shit they were saying and that it was all lies.
Oh shoot, I haven't seen that actually. No.
Yeah, it's a big one, huh? I didn't know that either until like a month and a half ago. Newsmax, out of all people, was posting about it. It's like about as far right as you could get.
So real quick, if I was to ask you, is there any clips, just going off of your memory, you know, forget my phrasing of the question, were there clips of people that were at multiple ballot locations dropping off ballots?
I mean, from what I saw, you know, like whatever they were showing on there, now that he's saying that it like they pretty much like lied about it. Now I feel like a
yeah, well, no. Yeah, well, and I'm not knocking you for it because, like, I bet if I would have asked you that 3 minutes ago, you would have said absolutely yes, right?
Yeah, of course, but he has evidence, so I'm like,
yeah, but even when you watch the video, like if you watch it looking for that, you'll see that never happened. There was never one video clip of a single person going to multiple ballot boxes. They just edit it so convincingly to make you jump to that conclusion without actually saying it. So it's a very deceptively edited video. All that they have is book cell phone data that they bought that showed a high number of people traveling past various ballot boxes, but there was never one piece of evidence presented in that movie. And I went back and I watched it looking for it that showed one individual going to more than one ballot drop box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, all I could say, like what I remember, like seeing is like them tracking the phones, like you mentioned, of them like being at multiple locations because they track that.
Well, yeah, and I mean that's all the CGI that they were doing. They're like they've got like the little green dot like following people. Right. You can't buy that data. Just imagine, like, do you think that somebody can literally just go to some company and buy your tracking data to see where you've been traveling to, like without like a court?
I mean, that would be fucking illegal, in my opinion.
Right. So how did these yahoos who made this movie, how were they able to get that data? No, they connected all of these dots that are flowing out there. They just put those little graphics in to just make you think that that's what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, I could say too, like, I mean, there's like great hackers out there. They probably could have done that, but I mean, now that he said that they literally went to court and they lied about it, so it's like it doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's just one way that he creates diversity. No, I keep saying diversity. No, Donald Trump is actually not good for diversity.
Creates division.
Donald Trump creates division. I'm a little bit off my game, man. Alexis, with the $5. But do you have anything else that you'd like to bring up?
Yeah, because I remember last time that I was on here, because I like to listen to see like what to understand both points, because I'm kind of still debating on who to vote for. But I remember yesterday, like a lot of people were coming up and kind of like it was like African American people coming up to you and telling you thank you for speaking about them and stuff like that. But I was wondering, why do you think that Trump hates them?
Well, yeah, sure, because he has a very long, incessant, unapologetic track record of racism, ranging from the 90s until current day. In 1973, Donald Trump denied housing applications to black people because they were black. In 1991, Donald Trump called all black people lazy. In the early 2000s, Donald Trump said that he doesn't like black men counting his money, only the quote-unquote short men and the yarmulkes. Donald Trump also said that Obama was born in Kenya, even though he's born in Hawaii with the birth certificate to prove it. Thereby, he shouldn't be able to run for president. He called migrants animals yesterday. He said that migrants were poisoning the blood of our country. He called for the death penalty of the exonerated Central Park Five. He said that Kamala Harris turned black, implying that she wasn't black prior. His dad got arrested at a KKK rally. He's a very long, incessant, and unapologetic track record of racism.
Okay, so I do notice like you guys tend to go back to like the past, but you know when let's say that you made a mistake and maybe said the N-word or whatever in the past, why is it okay to forgive that but not to forgive certain things from them?
Dude, show me where Trump held himself accountable and I will. How about that?
I mean, so you expect them to say sorry for you to move on?
Show me where Donald Trump has held himself accountable.
But that's what I'm asking. If he were to hold himself accountable, you would think that it would be okay then to move past that.
If Donald Trump, if Donald Trump were to in 2014 hold himself accountable for what he has done and become a candidate that stood for progression, a reduction of systemic forces that continue to marginalize members of the African American community, and stood for an end of the racial and income inequities and fought against systemic oppression of black people in America, of course.
I mean, but if he hated them so much, why would he do the First Step Act?
Well, first of all, the First Step Act was not influenced to get passed by Trump. It was influenced under Obama's admin, and we see criminal justice reform pushed for by Congress.
I mean, but Trump signed the First Step Act.
Dude,
do you think the First Step Act? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You've been interrupting me the entire time you've been up in here, and I've been ignoring it, but it's really annoying.
All right, I'll stop it. My bad. Go ahead.
It's just like every single time I speak, like you interrupt me halfway through.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, the First Step Act was influenced under Obama, and then signed into law under Trump. And we see criminal justice reform signed into law every 4 to 8 years. It's very typical. And if anything, if he didn't sign that into law, it would have created a lot of negative PR backlash for him.
Okay, then.
Also, I just want to be very clear that the First Step Act isn't targeted towards persons of color. It helps far more white people than it does any person of color.
I mean, the law is disproportionately benefited black Americans, though, who were overrepresented in the U.S.
Hi, how are you?
prison population.
Yeah, I would like to note that policy is at odds with his current stance of enacting the death penalty for the very same offenses that were otherwise dealt with more lenient punishment as a result of the First Step Act. For example, Brett Baer last year asked him about the case of Alice Johnson, a person whom he pardoned through the initiative of the First Step Act, now being subject to the death penalty under this very same policy. And Donald Trump's answer to that was, yes, she would be killed by his policy today. Starting now, she would be. So it kind of puts a level of distrust in the system and Donald Trump and in his priorities towards racial groups if he's willing to say one thing one day and then completely reverse that stance in the next.
But what did she do, though?
The very same thing of which people were freed for under the First Step Act. It was drug possession. It was trafficking.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. That's not making sense to me. Like, why would he want her killed just for selling that?
That is my point, that it's at odds with his current stance on that position. So how can we trust him when it comes to racial issues when he's willing to reverse one of the policies that he claims so highly and you speak so highly about in the very next administration?
I don't know. It's just because, I mean, he historically has supported black colleges.
No, he actually decreased funding to black universities.
And then
he also defrauded them in 2019.
I mean, the
defrauded 8 separate charities,
the federal funding for HBCU.
He decreased it
and made it permanent.
They were made permanent under Biden. No, they were made permanent under Biden. He extended it cumulatively $15 or $16 billion since he took office.
And then Trump only signed in $255 million per year. It's an increase of a factor of 60.
So if he did that in his administration, but then Biden continued it, then that doesn't mean that it's Biden's.
Bro, no, listen. Obama sent HBCUs $1 billion per year. Trump sent them $250 million. Biden and Harris sent them $4 billion.
Where can I see those numbers?
Yeah, dude, do you want a source? I could get one for you.
Sure.
Yeah. God, feel free to keep talking to her.
Yeah, no problem.
You know what? I'll just look up Trump funding to HBCUs, then look up Obama funding to HBCUs, then look up Biden funding to HBCUs. I mean, it's very easily.
UNCF.org can give you something here.
Yeah. And Julie, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love, Julie. Let's get some W's for Julie in the chat. Thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. That is so incredibly kind of you. Massive W's for Julie down below. Let's get at least 500 W, Julie. Thank you so much for your kindness.
All right, then what would you tell me then for me to kind of change my position to think that? Because I know that you prove a bunch of points wrong, so I'm wondering, like,
I have a question. Do you think it was racist for me to say the N-word?
I mean, it's like, yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay, so then why isn't it racist for Trump to call black people lazy or to deny housing applications to black people because of the color of their skin?
I would say that that's not being racist. I would say that that's discrimination.
Okay, well, how's it
Which
racist
is
for me
what?
to say the N-word, but it's not racist for him to call black people lazy?
Because that's not what racist means. I mean, that's discrimination.
What is racism?
Is there a difference?
Wait. You're saying that racism is not discrimination on the basis of race? Also, thank you for the boxing gloves. Massive W's for the gifter in the chat. Thank you so much for the boxing gloves. You were so incredibly kind. Thank you.
I mean, it would just kind of be like the race is superior to others. I would say, like, that's what he's probably saying by that.
But also subjecting one race to a separate set of standard than another, right?
Right.
Right, like denying them housing applications and then telling white potential tenants that there are spaces available.
I never heard of that one.
That's what happened in 1973. He was sued successfully, had to settle and change the policy.
So I just want to clarify. So do you think that that was racist?
Sure, yes.
Okay, so Donald Trump is racist. He has a long track record of racism since the 70s, and he's never apologized, and he's never held himself accountable. In fact, he's just continued to perpetuate it.
Okay, so what you're saying is then, when you say, like, when somebody doesn't apologize, it just, when they apologize, it makes them not racist anymore.
When someone holds themselves accountable, and they apologize and they progress to become a better person, it is possible to no longer be racist. Yeah.
But
just put all this in a vacuum,
actually, like,
because you have to measure change. Okay, you have to measure the totality of the person, and if they're going to continue saying or doing the same things after they've apologized, then very clearly they're entrenched in that kind of behavior. Donald Trump not only has not issued an apology towards the thousands of people he has allowed to suffer, but hasn't changed. Look at who he surrounds himself with. Look at who he's campaigning with: Stephen Miller. White supremacists, neo-Nazis. He had one at his property at Mar-a-Lago.
I didn't know that he was hanging out with them. That's kind of fucked up.
He had a dinner with Jay and Nick Fuentes.
I'm like over here, like, this is like mind-blowing to me.
This isn't new, by the way.
To me, it is. That's why I'm, like, surprised. And I'm like,
you learned something new.
I'm like double thinking myself on what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know. I guess my bad for wasting your time. I just have to do more research, I guess.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
No, just thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Keep asking questions. Keep asking questions.
Yeah, doing great. What's up, Jaden? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. It is 6:44. I want to be off by 7. I'll probably be on here for another conversation. Feel free to hang out. Then I'm going to send a raid over to Parker, try to show him some love over there.
Awesome. Nice.
Oh man, I am starving. I cannot wait to go eat some food. For everyone hanging out with us in here today, make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen. We're just gonna hanging out. We're gonna get our last guest of the night up in here. It's been a little bit of a slower stream today than usual, but that's okay. Alana, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. You were phenomenal. Let's get some W's for Alana in the chat. Where should I get dinner? Where should I get dinner tonight, chat? I'm telling you guys, I am like fucking starving. Like what should I do? Should I like go out, like get an actual dinner? You know, like go out to.
I mean, where are you from?
Like a small town in Colorado. There's not too many options out here.
Colorado. I don't know what they got over there.
Yeah.
Dean eats like 4-hour-old burritos on the regular on stream, so anything's a step up.
Yeah. I've been trying to like eat better recently. What's up, Lowell Cal? Are you voting for Trump?
Actually, yeah, but I was just gonna ask. I did hear you say something earlier. You were saying that you were young and kind of new to debating when you were talking about the familiar relations.
Yep.
I would just ask what's your argument against it today?
You know what? That's a great question. Do you want to join my Discord? I could give it to you when I'm off.
I thought you were just bringing up the last guest to ask that. Is it not something you can say on live?
No, it's just not related to the topic of politics.
Oh, you were addressing these things though on here, weren't you?
Yeah, like I'll address things that have come up about me because I feel like transparency and accountability is necessary. But like you're just kind of like asking like for my thoughts on it, like debate wise.
Well, I don't know. Your argument that day didn't seem very like fleshed out. And then if you had a better one, this would be a perfect time to kind of clear the record, right?
Well, I feel like what clears the record is just the fact that that's something I held to because I didn't have an argument, and it's no longer something I hold to today.
So you think it should be illegal?
Yeah, I think.
All right, you can go to Discord for this. Let's actually get a debate going. Sorry, Dean, I'll take the licks for that one.
It's okay. Yeah, join the Discord, man. I'll have a conversation with you about it. I do think that incest should be legal. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
I am not, but I wanted to address your the whole thing that you had with the things and the stuffs about the text and the things,
Please do take it away.
Okay, so I just wanted to say I really do like how you're handling it. And I think that people who are trying to weaponize it against you, like they may have their own feelings, and I guess they're entitled to have those. But more so for the bad faith actors that you were having, like mainly throughout all of yesterday, I think that it's really important to acknowledge the difference between you and who they're voting for. You're actually holding yourself accountable and using it as not only a way for you to hold yourself accountable, but you're using an opportunity for other people to make that same change and learn from it. So I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're about to go and you're hungry and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to let you know, as a woman, as a trans woman, as a woman of color, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. You're phenomenal. I love you. Thank you so much for coming up in here.
For sure. I watch you and Parker all the time, and Jaden. So
yeah. I hope that you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. A breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for popping up. We are going to go ahead and move on to our next guest. Let's see what we got. We only got like one more in us for the rest of the night here. So everyone do just kind of give us a minute. And also, Mike, I'd like to thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Thank you for the cap tray. I do really appreciate you for that. We're going to get our next guest up in here literally right now. If they don't connect, we'll probably just end it here. Michelle, thank you for the boxing gloves. I appreciate you for the love, Michelle. Let's get some W's for Michelle in the chat. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, honestly, I think that we're just going to go ahead and end it here for the night. I'm probably going to hang out with the chat for about 10 minutes, do a little bit of a Q&A. Jaden and Law, I appreciate the both of you guys for popping up.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Talk to you later. Good to see you, Jaden.
Take care. You
Good
too.
to see you guys. So, chat, that was honestly a good way to end it. I'm going to go ahead and just hang out with you guys here for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and send it right over to Parker. So for everyone hanging out with us in here today, if you want to ask any questions, feel free. I'm going to start taking those in right now. We'll spend a little bit of time doing that before we hop off here for the night. So we'll just treat the rest of the stream as a little bit of a Q&A. Ginger, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo for the pizza, and Whitney, thank you for the $6 and the 66 cents saying that you missed me. Thank you, you guys. Thank you, Ginger and Whitney. We love you, Dean. I love you too. Someone in the chat says, did you really essay someone or is that false? Great question. It is false. Hannah, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Any of the old time fans could attest that I had a very crazy man coming after me online with fake like rape claims. His name was QB. He admitted that he was lying, and he was just doing it to like get other people's attention, to get them to stop supporting me. So that's important to kind of get around. It's really important to kind of get around there. By the way, guys, as I was saying earlier, we actually hit 1 million followers. That is like so fucking insane. I just want to put that out there. I still can't believe that. How did I get into politics and debating? Honestly, I originally got into debating just because I thought that I had found some like new profound truth, and I wanted to try to convince other people that I was right and they were wrong. Samantha, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much. Shared the same education that kind of corrected me to with as many people as possible. That's the facts. That's the facts. What's my favorite debate topic? Definitely politics. I love it. I love it. Addy, thank you for the money gun. By the way, if you want to ask me a question and get a confirmed answer, the Venmo and the PayPal are in the bio, but I'm only going to be doing this for a little bit here. Wait, actually, just the Venmo, because I can't log into my PayPal on my laptop, so just the Venmo. Someone actually tried to hack into my PayPal, so I had to put like 2FA on it and all this crazy shit. Corey, did I regret the debate in question, or did I anticipate it? I kind of regret it, not gonna lie. And Jamie, thank you so much for the $2 on Venmo. Will I do a card trick? Sure. We will do a card trick. We will do a card trick. Someone in the chat says that they sent a donation to the wrong Venmo. Yeah, please use the link in my bio, because there's a lot of people out there that are just scamming. There's a lot of people out there that are just scamming, using my name for clicks. That's right. It sucks. It's so shitty. And Venmo won't do a damn thing about it either. They won't shut down these accounts. It sucks. So if you want to make sure that you're donating to the right place, use the link in my bio. By the way, guys, I'm thinking I want to go out to a restaurant tonight and get a meal. Charles, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, saying, do I think that Trump's election interference case will preclude him from becoming president even if he wins the election? Oh, I think it's possible. I sure hope it does. Leonard, thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal. Leonard, I really appreciate you for the love. Massive W's for Leonard down below in the chat. Leonard, like I said, I cannot read your question because it is on PayPal and I can't sign into my PayPal on my laptop. But what I will do is I will privately shoot it response once I end the stream. Yeah. Oh, yep. Queen, thank you for the love painting. Eat some Wingstop. Hell yeah. Honestly, I'm in the mood for some Mexican food. God, let me tell you, you guys, Latin American cuisine, nothing's better than it. The most memorable parts of my trip to Mexico, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico is the fucking food. No one does it better. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. No one does it better. That's a fact, okay? That's a fucking fact. Own that shit. For all my Latin American friends out there, own that shit, because it is true. Erica, thank you for the $1. How do we join the Discord? The link isn't working for me. Go to the app, just type in Dean in the join. All right. You guys said that you wanted to see a magic trick. I bet we could get something done here. I bet we can do it. I bet we can. I won't lie. Let's see. So here's a fun one. It's a little bit harder to do these tricks when we are just kind of sitting in front of a live audience. I don't really have anyone up here. We get Amanda, thank you for the $5 towards dinner. Hey, thank you. Now I'm gonna bring my girlfriend with me. How about that? Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Thank you for the $5. So we're just gonna take whatever cards on top here. We got the Ace of Spades. Now we could actually take the Ace of Spades. We could throw it in the middle of the deck. Now this is a really cool one, because now we'll take the new card. Yeah, take her and have the best time, dude. Hell yeah, you know it. Now we're going to take the new card that's on top, the 4 of clubs here. And what we could do is we could use the 4 of clubs to push the Ace of Spades in the deck. And it's still the 4 of clubs. But you'll see this. This is going to be crazy. As soon as we get the Ace of Spades all the way pushed into the deck, just like that 4 of clubs on top actually becomes Ace of Spades. I don't know. It's crazy how that works. I mean, we could do it. We could do it like a lot of different ways. We could take like the ace of spades once again, throw it in the middle. Oh, that's really near the top. Throw it in the middle, push it in, and then now for it to pop up to the back of the top, I actually have to say the name of the card. So like right now it's the six of hearts, but watch this. All I have to do is I have to say the name. Ace of spades, and then just like that, melts through the top. Phenomenal. And now that we kind of have the ace of spades here, it's like locked in, and it will follow us everywhere. But hey, Victoria, thank you for the $25 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And Colin with the $5, and Sheila with the $10. Thanks for a great stream. Now go eat. Yeah, I need to go do that soon. Ariana, thank you for the subscription as well. So watch this. We're going to take the ace of spades. Once again, we're just going to throw it in the middle of the deck. Just like that. Now we're just going to shuffle this shit. We're going to get it lost. Victoria, thank you for the $10. And Chris, thank you for the $6 and the 66 cents. Thank you so much, Victoria and Chris. So let's make sure that we get the ace of spades real lost in there. Let me get a yes in the chat as soon as you think that the ace of spades is lost in the deck. Let me get a yes in the chat. Let me get a yes. You know what I mean? Maddie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you. I'll have to teach you. Okay, yeah, you guys think that the ace of spades is lost. Now watch this. Now watch this. This is a crazy part. We're going to bring someone up for 5 seconds. We're going to bring someone up for only 5 seconds. This is the crazy part. Someone says one more shuffle. Should we do another one? Should we do another shuffle? You know what? I see Maddie. Get up here, Maddie. Yeah. Okay, we'll do another shuffle while Maddie's joining. Look at that. Super duper fair. We'll even do another shuffle like this. Hi, Maddie.
Hi, Dean.
Can I would love for you to do one thing for me. We have lost the ace of spades in the deck. Do you think it's sufficiently lost? Do we need to mix it up a little bit more?
I feel like you should do one more.
One more. Okay. We'll go ahead and do that. Perfect. And in fact, we're even going to do something else too. We're going to take the deck, and I'm just going to start burning cards from the top. Just tell me when to stop. So we have a fresh top card, so you know the card can't be hidden anywhere.
Okay, stop.
Right there.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Thank you. We're just going to take those cards. We're going to go set them down just like that. In fact, we'll even just throw them on the bottom of the deck. Now watch this. Tell me when to stop, okay?
Okay. Stop.
Right there. And I was telling you that the ace of spades would actually would track you through the deck. But I think, I don't think it worked for me. 1 second, my mic's all over the place. We'll go ahead and see what the card is on top here. The card on top right now, it's going to be the 3 of clubs. So it didn't work. But I want you to try to do something here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that 3 of clubs up, and I actually want you to just say ace of spades. Okay, just say it.
Okay. Ace of spades.
And then it just like in the middle of the air changes into the ace of spades, It's crazy. And I mean, now, and we'll, in fact, we'll even do it again. We'll go on and we'll do a shuffle on it. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Right there. Perfect. And what is the card? What do you think it is?
I honestly don't know. I'm like mind blown, Dean. No way.
Look at that. That's insane, right?
That's crazy.
I know. It's insane. It's insane how that works. And there's like so many things that we could do. Like, I don't know. It's like this one's really interesting. Like, I don't even know how it works. Like, look at, I don't think I could do this literally any more fairly. Watch this shit. We have the ace of spades here. We'll go ahead. We'll take the ace of spades. Okay. We're going to put it into the middle of the deck. Could it get any more fair? She's lagging.
No, I don't think so. You're good.
Yeah, no, it couldn't get any more fair. It's in there. All that I have to do is push it in. Just like that. And now I want you to do something for me, okay? I want you to go ahead and say a random number 1 through 52.
47.
47. Watch this. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and 47. So how crazy would it fucking be if the card you stopped on was Ace of Spades?
Bean's on expert mode. I can't.
Is that one crazy?
I cannot.
I
You're
know.
gonna have to teach me how to do that. That's wild.
I know that one's just absurd. That one's just absurd. I know. And like listen, we could like shuffle the deck. We'll do it one last time here before we hop off and we raid Parker. I'm just gonna start going. Literally just tell me when to stop. Uh-oh.
Stop.
All right, right there. Let's see what it is. Yeah, you guys want the Parker raid, I know. Oh, it's the 7 hearts. That sucks. But God, it just turns right into the Ace of Spades. I don't know. It's crazy.
My.
Well, I appreciate you for coming up, Maddie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a good one. W's for Maddie. I know. Okay, one last one. We're having fun. We're doing the tricks. We're having a lot of fun. You're dude. Someone in the chat said that they're screaming. See, I have fun. I'm always practicing my sleight of hand. I'm having my fun with it. It's awesome. One last one here. Put a good shuffle on that deck. Now this one's pretty crazy, chat. Because I could shuffle the deck here. Really, just do whatever I want with it. Phenomenal. So, watch this. I just already know, after shuffling the deck, Ace of Spades pops up to the top. Just kidding. The Ace of Spades doesn't. It is now the Ace of Diamonds, but this is the trick. I just had to set it up. Look at my hand. There's nothing on it. Ace of Diamonds. All that I have to do here is start rubbing that card. And if you rub the card in the right way, with the right pressure, what you could do here is you could actually change it from the Ace of Diamonds into the Ace of Spades. We're going to go ahead and send you guys on a little raid to Parker. Would you guys start spamming at Parker, get a job down below in that chat? Let's go ahead and do it. I love you guys. I'm going to hop off for the night. I'm going to go grab some food with the girlfriend. Amelia, thank you with a $20 towards the dinner. You were phenomenal. Thank you, Amelia. You are great. Thank you so much. Head over to @Parker, get a job. I love you guys. Have a good time there. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.